Welcome everyone to the coach's desk with your host, Coach Minzy. And as you can see, people, Elaine Thompson to leave Nike. Is that so? Will that happen? Yeah. Because of lack of support. A lot of things going on the social media, people. People are really concerned about what is happening. You know what I mean? But people, you don't know how it go. The golden rule: hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Yeah, man, hit the like button, people. Yeah, man, hit the like. And of course, coaches just provide a means of people allowing their voice to be heard. You know what I mean? You can call number on the screen. Yeah, man, you can call the number on the screen to show support, you know? So if you don't want to come on, or we drop the link. If the link is dropped, then definitely we can, call in. WhatsApp number 1-876-474-3538. Call in and talk what you want to talk, and the people them hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? So big up to everybody. Waiting for some more people to come on so we can start the discussion. Yeah, man. 2 hours max will be on. 2 hours max, yeah. So, and if you tell a friend to tell a friend and people come on and we have a good conversation, then they might not know. It might go 3, it might go 4, but I still 2 hours max. Yeah, man, big up for yourself, people. All the persons that are on now, big up yourself. Yeah, man, big up yourself. Just hit the like button while you enter, people. I see we have Mike Larry. Big up yourself and welcome. He says, long time, need more money. D'Angelo, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Mark, big up yourself, Mark. Big up yourself. Ferdinand James, Van Zyl, big up yourself. Big up yourself, South African brother. That's what we're going to be discussing. We're not sure. But you know, Puma is a Jamaican brother. So you never know. Tanya Kimbe, big up yourself. Bless up. Welcome. Fresh God. Big up yourself, Fresh God. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Fresh God. You know what thing going on. King Dose, big up yourself. Thunder Juice is here. Puma's always been good to Jamaica. So they would sign her in a heartbeat. Now, let's see. Hit that like. Be fast like Elaine. Elaine in a forever faster league, you know. Lego Nike. For real. Tony Green, big up yourself and welcome. Yankney, welcome. Who that? Mr. God bless you. Welcome, God bless you. Cinderella what? We're there, you know. We're there chilling, no? Talk to about what go on. Yeah. Everett Palmer, greetings. Greetings to you. Travis Winfield, welcome. Fear Spot, what's up? Everything all right? Cool, no? Kevin Hansen, we need to talk about Tina Clayton. Yeah, man, we want to talk about that, man. I can't feel like this, you know. Anything what you want to talk about. Everett Palmer said, is this real? E.T. leaving Nike? Well, after we get on, some more people can talk about what happened. Yeah. Nicole and Nicholson, big up, welcome. Chrissy M, she need to leave for real, all right? Anthony Clark, Chrissy M, welcome. Welcome, Anthony Clark. Erica Maria. Now maybe I big up yourself. Congrats to year 2 Namibian Stars, you know? I am not done. 9th is not the end of the world. It's a start of going up, don't? As she said, shut up. Hey, Shatta, I saw something today, you know. The prize money given to athletes who make it in the 100-meter finals, you know. Guess what? I want to eat them pay, you know. They play, they pay places 1 to 8. So the ninth place they never get the money still. So I don't know that one they go. It's a New Balance. If Nike flopping, Puma will jump in. I said, yeah, true. Check out Adidas. All right, Donald will come. You know about the Adidas thing still, you know, but you know, anybody bring the better deal. Ken Bina, big up yourself. What you say? Like button punch like Ali. Punch 4 man, you know. Alright. Edman, big up yourself. Welcome. Yeah man, that's how you think set, man. Nike like to exploit athletes. Well, that's allegedly, we're not sure. Everett Palmer, only Adidas and Puma I deal with. Burnout. Motors, welcome. Puma is fast. Ask Carson Warholm. Blackburn, I don't blame her. She run 5-1 Nike still seems to acknowledge her greatness. Michael Walker, Elaine Thompson husband was on YouTube channel. He said it's good for track and field, but that track car is so arrogant because it sells the sport. Yeah, man. We know that. We have been saying that. We have been saying that. Elaine Spike is doing the talking right now. Welcome, Dexter. Gilfie Timal, coach, big up yourself is the World Cup squad name. Big up yourself in a Timal. I heard it has been named, you know, but it has not been released because if you know, there's an update in the media about this whole English. Um, the Premier League not allowing their players to go to World Cup qualifiers. So that could be something. Major Bless, welcome. Major Bless, Fear Spot. Which one now come on, come join me. Our calling, that place a shy, man. I love Adidas too. Their first ever sponsored athlete was none other than Jesse Owens. Buddhism say good move. Nike has been enabled Seamus Shakar. They have also been accused of promoting. Huh. Huh. Da 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 da. The rain, yeah. See when night do all this. Yeah, man. Coach, me stress out. Me feel like a prisoner. It take a lift a morning, you can roll out, man. Yeah, say, man. You know, like your yard, Pierce? Fear spot? Mine, you know. Wonder why you stress out and you're there home. Mine, you know, Fierce. It's a Primo Vision. Nike and US Media set up Porsche car. Them know, say she couldn't do it. Cinderella what? Well, me say, when one door shut, another one open. Bob Marley say, be strong. She can only go from here. So that means next time she'll come 10th. Shikari ain't done nothing and getting all the recognition for losing. Elaine been great. Puma pick her up. True great athlete, humble. Alright. Now Shatter 9 is not the end of the world. It's coming last in the race. We're Shatter and we're him there. Him supposed to shame. Him the right here, so you know, Edmund. So Miss Lady didn't make any money, but she might get paid for appearance. Yeah. 10,000 for first, 8,000 for second. No, it's 6,000 for second. She needs to move to Adidas. When respect is no longer on the menu, it's time to leave. Coach, I'm working on a brand for the Jamaican woman. I have to have 1, 2, 3 in the name. That not about Desmond. You don't sell the sport if you come last. Robots don't get shamed. Shakari is the sport. She's the future. Her time to make her that capital, yeah? Elaine need to get more recognition and be all over the. Y'all don't like it, but it's true. I say they work major. Work in a lockdown. And where you work major? Oh, you're there US now, sorry. Forgive me. Chelsea Clinton. Coach, you are doing a great job. Respect Chelsea. Shatta, Elaine needs to talk the things then. Elaine has 30,000 followers. Shakara has 1.5 million followers. Yeah. I miss the days when Nike simply sponsored great athletes. That used to be their ethos. And it worked very well. Now you have athletes like Neymar. All right, so Michael, that's a big point that you're raising, because you see, if Nike do an ad with Shakiri, it will go a far way, because of her social media following, and that is also a part of marketing when it comes on to these companies. The social media thing work, yeah. So yeah, man, that's a good look for them and Shakiri. So she continue to trash talk. Trust me, wonders. Shatter na join, man. Shatter go say my computer. Shatter, I give you the opportunity to call in or come on the stream. First time you come on a stream, Shatter. Just make it quick and fast. If you don't want nobody see your face, you can put on a mask, a full face mask, and no problem. Shakir Richardson is getting all the fame from this race. Marketing up, yeah, man. Allison leave night because they dropped her when she got pregnant. Yeah. Puma will pick her up fast. What out there? I don't know who Elaine was until the Brazil Olympics. Then I became a fan. Okay. I put this one on your post. That 10.54 ain't right. Check the frame by frame. 1.5 meter from to 1 meter post line. 10.1, 10.4. Does that make sense? Big up. And I understand that. Thunder Shakar got all those followers on Instagram from people feeling sorry for her, not for her actual success. Yeah, but a marketing same way. Elaine needs to way more interview and needs to be on the Today Show. True. Nike is very biased. Yo, bro. Shakar need to move to JA, one of the high schools, and learn how to run. She fast, man. You can't take nothing from her, man. JR, the on-screen clock isn't exactly accurate. Yeah. So Shatta put up a $5 or so. Wait, was it fair to put the poor little girl in between two female goats? So you're admitting no, Shatta. Shatta, you're admitting no. Let's talk about Jamaica, man. I forget about Shakari now. Bless up people. Claudia, big up yourself. All right, so people, one of the things that is happening right now is that there are some folks who really follow this track and field thing, You know what I mean? But before I get into that, Julian Fort ran at a meet today in Hungary. He came third. I didn't get the time. Also, Natasha Morrison, she ran at a meet, and she ran 11 seconds flat, also in Hungary. All right, so Del Oliveira, big up yourself. Johnny Clela, big up yourself. All right, so a lot of Jamaicans aren't pleased with this whole situation with what that Nike is doing in reference to Elaine Thompson. I think Elaine Thompson would have let me put some respect on the boss name there era. So Elaine Thompson era, she has been doing exceptionally well since the Olympics, yeah, or the Olympic Games, and people are really observing. And what they are saying is that they are not pleased with Nike support of the island's Olympic athletes. Yeah. Let me read. Jamaicans and other track and field fans are expressing their grouse online and threatening to boycott the Nike brand unless they show due respect to Olympic champion and the fastest woman in the world, Elaine Thompson Herah. Right? So they have a problem with that. And many of you I know have a problem with that. I don't think Alison left Nike. I think Nike dropped her based on at the time when she got pregnant. So let me continue. Thompson Herah signed a professional contract with Nike around about 2016. She's now the fastest woman alive, right? Second fastest in history in 100 meter. You know what I mean? And she did an Olympic record in 10.61 at the Olympics, removing Flojo's record, Olympic record. You understand? So a lot of persons came out on social media and they have spoken because they aren't particularly pleased with what is happening. Because what persons are saying, people, is that she has not even gotten a congratulations from Nike. She has not gotten congratulations from Nike, and she is the fastest woman in the world. She's an Olympic, not just an Olympic champion, two-time double Olympic champion. Yeah? So 2016, 1-2, bam. 2021 or 2020, bam, 1-2 again. And she did it in record-breaking style. So the fact is that she ain't getting any recognition. They're saying that Nike did not highlight Elaine Thompson, even on their social media platform. One Jamaican said, I know I'm just one person, but I am not buying another Nike until they do right by Elaine Thompson. Not even a congratulatory post on your IG. You know what I mean? And the person went on to say that I hope that they are working on something like that, and that it has not happened to date. You know what I mean? It begs to, or persons are really looking into this thing, people, because just after that there's this big Nike commercial that was released, right, with Shakira Richardson. She didn't go to the Olympic. She has a lot of following. Yes, I can't take that away from her. You understand? Elaine, a big Olympic champion, fastest woman. You know what I mean? Even when Shelly ran the fastest time, we didn't see any recognition. But the fact of the matter is, they have an ad with Shakira to promote her comeback at the Eugene Diamond League. Can you imagine? Yeah. They were promoting that Elaine had the world lead in time. And then she proved that she's worthy of that title by destroying the field again in Oregon. You know what I mean? So there was also this thing where the station that broadcasted the event, they did not interview Elaine Thompson either. And that was something, even if they did, it wasn't put up. They were saying that it was in the commercial time and all of this, and we know the work where the commercial is concerned. You know what I mean? But this is something that this is something they have to sort out, man. They have to sort it out. They have to sort it out. Because another thing is that people, another thing, let me read this part of it. Athlete brand manager Tana Perkins, who has worked with Elaine Thompson and Brenna Williams, said the American media has a long tradition of biased coverage against Jamaican athletes that dates back to the 90s. They haven't seen a female on top of the 100-meter podium since 96. And so I think they're looking for an American champion because that generates bigger audiences and within their bigger market. I don't think we need to ever look to them for validation, as both their marketing machinery and media are heavily focused on Americans. So that's so that's one of the things that was said by the athlete brand manager Tanya Lee Perkins, and that's a very good thing that was observed by her. Well said. I mean, Nike is an American company, big in America, so they will want to highlight their citizen or person who lives in their country. You know what I mean? So it is very difficult, and as I said, it's kind of a bias because this lady has been running very fast and no recognition. And when Shelly-Ann was leading, I think when she got pregnant, it was a big deal for her to, where contractual agreement was concerned because she got pregnant. Yeah. So that was an issue as well. When you check IG right now, people, if you have your phone, check IG right now. Yeah, man, check IG. You're on IG, search for Elaine Thompson. Search for Elaine Thompson. Yeah. What has happened is that not Star Chuck or Star Chuck. Elaine Thompson Herah. She has 425,000 followers, right? Not the private jet. I'm talking about in her bio. I'm immortal, fastest woman alive, two-time double Olympic champion, national record holder, Nike, Flow, and NCB brand ambassador. So, I mean, she's still a Nike athlete, but trust me, something has to be done with this situation. You know what I mean? I do hope. I mean, if it changes, that's a good look. But it might not change. It might not change. It definitely might not change. You know what I mean? From what I know is that her coach has to be listen, you're certain, Michael. I don't think it will change. But I mean, will she switch? That's why the question sign. I doubt it much that she will, because we know that her coach is in some contractual agreement with Nike, and he has to coach a particular amount of Nike athletes. So if Elaine leaves, then that is going to be a tough blow. Yeah. So I do believe that she will stay amidst the biasness and quote unquote disrespect. Um, but I mean, it's a sad situation, man. Some respect should be placed on Elaine's name. Put up a billboard with her fastest woman. One of your big athletes, you know. Yeah. If you start to do that, her following will increase, and then things you never know. You understand? I've never seen anything with Elaine in it. Never. You understand? Never seen anything with Elaine in it. You understand? All right, let me get back into some of the fastest ever. No Alison Nike. She didn't renew her contract as they lessen her benefits. Okay, okay. All right, well, it's like uh they congratulate her on that page. Well, I have not seen any. I'm a follow Nike. All right. So they did that on that. So probably we are not on to something. All right. I say she's a female bolt in your opinion. No man, we can. I hope this builds momentum and this hit Nike where it hurts. I've been boycotting Nike for years. Joined the club. Nike hasn't done anything for Elaine Thompson here, which is a shame. Yeah, for real. Me not see them do anything for her. Who has seen her in a commercial? Yeah? Tell me. I could be wrong, but tell me. I've never seen her in a commercial. If you have seen her, let me see. Or that is not a part of the agreement. She's going to Adidas. I doubt it. I doubt she gonna move. Yeah, I remember with Shelly, yes. But what we are saying is that somebody got a commercial who was just coming back. Yeah, we know you're athletes too. But I mean, do one with the big star coming from the Olympic. And she proved that it was no fluke again. You know what I mean? Yeah, me know because she's American. No man, but people, I don't think that she will leave. And if there's gonna be a turn, it won't be no. Yeah, man. I was that Elaine should leave Nike for Puma or renegotiate. Yeah, there'll probably be some renegotiation, but I don't think. Wait, so them don't need Jamaican. All right. Another person name Moist the two or Moisty two. They said it was done and all the excuse. All right. Shelly is the cleanest brand. The fact that Shakari has not won a global medal and getting the promotion of a global athlete is a problem. Yeah, that is one of the things though. They are not showing the fastest woman no love. The congratulations that Bobby is speaking of is the bare minimum. Elaine needs a commercial. Bro, Elaine need better PR agent. Tell you how she need better PR. Are the Moncrief. They're not sorting out anything. The American companies they going to push their American athletes. I know that. Go on Nike's Instagram and you see Casa Semena more than anybody. What don't you understand that the big sponsors and media is owned by the Americans and Europeans, and the only thing they want to promote is America. Oh, God bless no man. NBC wanted Chakar to win. Where's that one? I comment the run gun star. I not to remember what I did there. All right, NBC wanted Shakir to win. First, I said that last week's interview and is not injured or fast start. You see it, I broke the same thing me said. Desmond Lambert, I don't. If you can tell me who is the manager, then I probably can reach out. You're not laughing at someone who failed. What did you expect when their poster girl was humiliated? I need to see Elaine Thompson Herah in all magazines. But quote the US female pun. But quote the USA female pun it on IG. I don't understand Balakar. American media is biased against Jamaican athletes. They are just pro-American. Yeah, man. I think one of the reasons why they highlight in Shakir, so as somebody said earlier, it's been a while that they have won anything major in women's sports, and Shakir come out to be one that seemed to be that girl, as they say, who could upstage the Jamaicans. But to date, that has not happened. Business is about how the market is monopolized. Elaine does not market the sport, which means she isn't generating interest because she is so quiet and to herself. This does not make a company money. All right, we understand that. All right, we're getting a call. Let me see. Yeah, man. Caller, you're live now.
Okay. Good night, coach.
Yeah, man. Good night.
I couldn't hold my tongue. I had to call in. Good night, coach.
Now you're a feedback. Now you're a feedback.
Okay. You are all forgetting Nike is a business. It does not care about the Jamaican market. Nike is a business.
I'm still hearing the feedback. Turn down what you're listening to. Yeah, man. I've been hearing about the feedback.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying like it's all about business. It's all about Jamaicans need to understand the American market. It creates superstars and it destroys the same superstars. Controversy sells. The more controversial the person is, the more interesting they are.
Mm-hmm.
much as you want, this girl sells. Her life story has been printed for the American press, and I'll tell you this: the Black Americans will support this girl to the death because they have used her life story, what she's been through, and it's almost like a movie, like sees profit in using her. There's no controversy in the Jamaicans per se. They use the controversy about her and the Jamaicans. They use that to promote. Shakiri has more than 2 million people on her IG, and a lot of American businesses will go for her because they push the sad story. But I'll tell you this: should she ever slip one way, the same media here that hypes her will tear her down. So you have to be careful about looking towards the American market to promote our athletes. It's got to be Jamaican companies that comes in and step up for their own. Yes, the American market and companies have more money, but it is a double-edged sword. Nike is in it for profit. Businesses don't look at certain things. It's all about the bottom line and making money. And Shakiri, yes, coming last probably is the best thing that has ever happened for her, because they're gonna juice this girl to the end.
All right, cool. Yeah, man, I understand the whole marketing thing, you know. I'm just saying though that with one of your biggest star, why wouldn't you be getting this person?
She's not marketable, coach.
Why isn't she marketable? I want someone to explain that to me.
Realistic. How many followers does she have on her IG?
Hold on. How many Shakiri had before? So you can't say remember Shakiri did not start at 1.5.
I'm trying to tell you, they've used Shakiri's background about her parents abandoning her and all that blah. That's why they make so much excuse for her. People, how do I put it now? Lord, I'm sounding cool. The bleeding heart thing. There are a lot of people who looks at her, who identifies with her, sees where she's coming from, and they are devoted. Nike sees that, and Nike's using it.
But I want you to tell me, Carla, how isn't Elaine marketable?
You are talking, Elaine has a success story. She's our queen, and we see the value, but Nike sees money. And to them, she's not, okay, in terms of the American market, she's not penetrating it.
Okay.
Look at Shakiri the other day when she did the drug thing. The president of the United States, press secretary, was telling the Olympics to let her run.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you, coach?
They want the competition.
It's not just competition. It tells you that.
Plus, they believe that
her narrative sells. It captures the American imagination of poor little downtrodden girl whose mom abandoned her and she's doing this and the mighty. I mean, come on.
All right, I hear you. I hear your point. I will respect your point. I don't agree with everything, but I mean,
I know you wouldn't. I didn't expect it to. It's just my opinion, not the gospel.
Yeah, man, I know. That's why I respect your opinion. Yeah, man. Thanks for calling in, though.
By the way, this is Claudine
Huh?
By the way, this is Claudine.
Okay, Claudine, welcome, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Shatta, you next, you know.
But I had to, coach, because I'm listening to all of you and I'm saying you're forgetting one of the big points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. All right, cool. Thanks for calling in, Claudine.
Okay.
Pick up yourself. We're allowing our next person to call in. All right, cool. I see somebody. I see a comment. I'm not asking the right question. This is not an interview. the person, the person is voicing their opinion. I'm not gonna try to change somebody's narrative. I believe Shakira is marketable. Yeah, so I agree on that point. To say that Elaine isn't marketable, although she has not said to me what really has caused her to say that Elaine isn't marketable. I've been seeing that floating around that Elaine and Shelly isn't marketable, Shakira is marketable and all of that. But somebody need to tell me. Somebody need to tell me. Somebody need to tell me why isn't Elaine marketable? Is it because she's a Jamaican? That one you need to tell me, you know. You understand? So the whole thing about Shakira being marketable, I understand that because the story behind her, losing her mother and all of that. And I think one of the reasons why they pushed for her to run is also not because of her story, it's because of persons saying that marijuana, if they free up the girl because of marijuana, man. So I think that was on it. But I still want somebody to tell me. I still want somebody to tell me why isn't Elaine marketable? Remember, I said track and field another one of the biggest sport in America, you know. You understand? They say Elaine is introverted. All right. All right. So what you Twitter a lot, use Instagram a lot. Hey, you see that? Hey, you see people, the last time Elaine dropped a photo, you know, about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you know, persons jump at her. Persons jumped at her and I said, what a Elaine have gone with and this and that and she can't do that as a global star and blah blah. Yeah? And apparently she wiggle back into her shell. So you see people really hard for pleasing at them time, you know. You see me I say? And as I was saying, track and field is not a big sport in America. But Nike always try to look for the athletes that are, you know, up there. And yeah, they believe that can propel. So why I think Shakira is getting all these thing people are talking about she marketable and all of that, which I do believe some part of it is marketability. But as I said earlier, Americans have not won nothing in 100 meter for since 96, right? And this little girl came about running 10.75, 10.72, and she looked like she's the one that is going to upstage the Jamaicans. You know what I mean? And that's why they are pushing her that much. That's all I see. All right, another call is coming. Let me check it out before I go live. All right, we have another call online. Crystal, you're live. Welcome.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
All right, so I'm currently seeing that you're asking a question as it relates to what with fear.
I still hearing the feedback, Crystal.
The question that you said, but was it fair to put Shakari between two greats? Remember, it's the fact that they were hyping up Shakari. You got what I mean? So the anticipation was there for the race. Yeah, so it was a well anticipated race because remember she was supposed to be on the Olympic team, but because of the banned substance that was found. Yeah, so everybody was anticipating the race from Tokyo 2020/2021. So therefore, that is a well anticipated race, and the fact that this is a global, I would say, what would I call it? This is well staged right now because of the results. Because if it had went any differently, of course there would still be a hype, but therefore it wouldn't be this published. You get what I mean? But the fact that she didn't win or came in the top 3 nor 4, why this is the result. And the reason why she's getting so much highlight from this is because of the modern what would I say, modern style.
Yeah, of social media.
Dressing, the excessive hairstyles and the long nails, you know. So it is something that is excessive and it is a modern culture, I would say. It's a part of modern day. So this is, I would say that because of that and the fact that United States has 52 states, you know, so all of them is going to be behind her. And the fact that they hadn't had anyone that was so close to medaling at the Olympics. They're so excited and say, oh, she's got the medal and all of that because she ran 10.7 something. I'm not sure what the time was for her because I was focusing on our Jamaican athletes, of course. But the fact that, you know, they made us had a little anxiety for the race. But at the end of the day, we have to give props to our 2 great goals, and actually 3 because Sherika Jackson has done a lot. You get me? So she is known as a quarter miler runner, but she was able to come in the 200 and did her thing, come in the 100 and did her thing as well. So at the end of the day, we have to give props to them, and the fact that our Jamaican athlete doesn't get the highlight that they deserve is that I strongly believe that our nation should support the athletes more. They should support the athletes more. I don't think that they're supporting the athletes 100%. I only believe that when it's Olympic time, you see everybody come up with a Dutch pat and all of that, but they're not giving the athletes the full support 24/7, 44/8. That is what we need as athletes. That is what the athletes need. That is what the sporting organization need, because if these corporate countries can come on board, or athletes will be more marketable. You get what I mean? I say we have more if the sponsors come on board and sponsor the athletes, sponsor people that have potential. And you're not going to sponsor people that doesn't have potential. You hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear them, man.
Yeah. So once they sponsor people that have potential, it would be a good look. And then once, you know, because we have BPO sectors right now, BPO sectors market with American companies, they have clients and stuff like that. If BPO sectors sponsored athletes, then we'll have a good marketing strategy, and our athletes can gain more subscribers. If they have a channel, they can gain more followers on Instagram if they do have an Instagram account. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a case where they're not marketable. The fact that I don't believe that Jamaica support them 100% only when at Olympic time. They should support the athletes 24/7, and that will make our marketing strategy even more stronger and powerful.
Yeah, man.
Right? And at the end of the day, we still can compare ourselves to the US, because remember the United States is big.
True. Yeah, man, you're right on that. You're right on that.
So I'm just gonna wrap up this quickly.
Yeah.
So remember, say each state have like 3.3 million people in one state. Remember, right? Jamaica is known to have 3.something million overall in all 14 parishes. So at the end of the day, we're small, but we tell our team, and that is what is hurting them. They just can't believe that a little country from the Caribbean is doing so well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well said, man. All right. Thanks, Crystal, for calling in. Big up yourself. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kingston, Jamaica. Jamaica.
Alright, big up yourself. Thanks for
my channel. It's called Monarch Crystal, okay?
Say that again.
Monarch Crystal. Monarch Crystal.
That's with a C or a K.
C.
Alright, we'll check that out for you. Big up yourself, man. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, people. Now, I want to make a point on this. Before I make the point, Fabian Full is saying, big up yourself, Fabian Full. Coach, everybody is marketable. A marketing team will need to work on an individual. But a barefoot English, that lady attack. Everybody has a story. Alright. So let me talk on this a little bit. Usain Bolt was Usain Bolt all over Facebook, all over Twitter, all over Instagram, making posts and doing all of these things. And Usain Bolt went a far away. Man, go on some big show, some big network. It had nothing to do with his tweets and all of these things. So I want people to be careful when they're speaking about Shakira's tweet and all of these shit up in the media and all of these things. Are your marketing team? If you have a marketing team that can push it, that can highlight it, that goes a far way rather than people are going to be susceptible to your tweeting and all of that. No, and your team put in the mileage so you can go on various stages. Yeah, nothing to do with your personality alone being out there in the media. No, your teamwork. You understand? So I just want to put that in a little bit. Let me get back some of the comments. Shelly's whoa. Comment then gone. People, a lot of comments are coming in. So if I don't read your comment, please, you can call in. You can call in. Let me put the number on screen. It is on screen, but it's a bit small. But let me put it on screen. All right, let me put it on screen so persons can see. And, make a call. I just put it up, but let me remove this one. I'm trying to catch what the comments, people. All right, there's the number on screen. Yeah, man. So as I said before, people, if I don't read a comment, please forgive me. She's the epitome of an angry black woman, and it sells. Coach says, Coach, you're not listening. American brands capitalism doesn't care about winning. They care about who can draw most money. All right, I saw that episode. I see that. And that's why I have concluded that Elaine won't believe him. You know what I mean? Unless when they go to the negotiation table, they can't agree on something. You know what I mean? All right, another call is coming in. Let me verify before I bring on here. Welcome. We have another caller here, people. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Jamaicans don't know how marketing goes. Elaine team got to step up to the plate, or she got to change her marketing team, because Nike is in it for money. Okay? Nike don't go around and nothing, just your team got to make sure you get your good lawyers and negotiate your contract. Redo it. Nike not going to put up any billboard with Elaine without our team act for it. Nike used to pay Jordan back in the day $4 like what, 20 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta think it. Nike is a brand that works for us. Jamaicans don't understand that. And they keep talking about Shakira. Shakira was never going to make the finals in the Olympics. Shakira is not back tested. Shakira, you can only run with people that you train with every day. She knows she can beat and then she runs fast. The first thing in the race was this girl Rattler, her teammate Daniel Rattler, when Daniel put up her hand, that's Rattler Shakira. Then Shelly Rattler that were running out of the blocks. You know what I'm saying? So all these kind of things they're talking about is not marketable. Every athlete is marketable. It's just your team.
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that. The team has to put in somewhere.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Because the personality. I'm so.
Jordan was the greatest from way back when.
Right.
4 million something Jordan used to get.
But look at this caller.
Retired.
Look at this.
Started paying 50 million a year until now.
All right, listen to this caller. Alicia Felix is an individual that is an introvert in my eyes. She doesn't post a lot on social media and all of that. But she got a lot of love. She and I think it is her team.
It's the team.
Is her team who
a lot of women got pregnant and I just threw them off. But Alicia Felix was one of the first guys in the face that Nike did that and brought it to the front.
Yeah, man.
So a lot of these people don't know that these people have contract and what's in the contract. A lot of NFL basketball guys have contract. You can't even ride a bike. Jamaicans need to understand when contract is signed, there's a lot of issues in there. So Elaine team, if she don't have a good team, she just gotta get rid of her. I get an American PR firm to market her. And then she will get the billboard in Kingston and Montego Bay to airports. I ain't gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, man.
Yes, but was watching all these comments and people talking all these kind of stuff, man. It doesn't go like that. When you win, you go to the drawing board and then you redo your contract. All right. And you have to have good and skill lawyers. It's just like an accident. If you don't have lawyers to get money when you make an accident, man, you're not gonna get anything like that.
All right, we hear the feedback coming in again, caller. So big up yourself. Thanks for calling in. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's all Ilian team need to do. Shirley team need to do. Sharika team need to do. If you get, you have a good PR team, and their local product. These are guys that go to high school with. But they're smart.
All right, we're freeing up the line for another caller now. Big up yourself. All right, cool. Yeah, people. Where's the baller cars? So Jamaican eat up on the show. Watch what you say. Then we make you too. All right, baller car. Big up baller car. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Oh, caller. Oh, that person that hung up. Hold on, I'm screen a caller before. Yeah, man, people, welcome Ibrook to the show.
Yeah, so my take on it, coach, is that America, as I said, the population size and a lot of compensation, she got more fans than our athletes. That's just the reality. Mathematics, right? 300 versus. Size is one factor. The other factor is the company, Nike. Nike don't pay attention to individual athletes, coach. Right? Are we up there?
Yeah, man, we are here. No, I'm not aware of that.
Pay attention to individual athletes.
Mm-hmm. You're saying that they don't?
They don't. That's why a person like LeBron James wouldn't sign with Nike per se, or a shoe company like Nike, because what Nike does is they give a lot of athletes at the younger age, at the collegiate level, a lot of contracts, so they don't focus on your individual branding and imaging. So they have their favorites from at the collegiate level. So they won't prioritize somebody like Elaine that will come from that collegiate system.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand in my chain of thought.
Yeah, man.
Right? So they will prioritize her brand, her image, and it's not in line with their values, what they're trying to promote. They're trying to promote patriotism to America. That's an American company.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the top that the American fans that tend to support Nike, where they get the most of the revenue, will naturally go to the American flag and American values and everything that is Americanism. So it's as simple as that, coach.
All right.
Yeah, man. So bless up and congrats on your show, your radio program. No, you think large, man. Big up yourself, all right?
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Ibrook. All right, cool. Mark Plunkett, what's up?
Yeah, man, coach. You know, through on the road and things, so the signal kind of bad. But yeah, man, it's coach, an interesting topic, and I love how the people come out and share them viewpoint. But what I want to say about it, I'm a Shelly fan. Shelly have a bubbly personality. She's likable. She's easily likable. You know, you can get to know Shelly. You know, a lot of people know Shelly and can relate to Shelly. You know, from Waterhouse, same community like myself. You know, get a girl and stuff like that. Taking her education, she can run and you know she does sweet. Elaine, no, I think the issue with Elaine is a lot of people don't.
Talk about Shelly, you know, you.
I think a lot of people, coach, a lot of people don't really know Elaine that much. Like, we respect her, we rate Elaine, we appreciate the hard work she put in. She's a true champion and she's proving herself. You know what I mean? She's in the realm of, you know, goddess now, you know, the king bolt and stuff. So the personality part no, that is the part that is lacking. She's an introvert, you know, she keep to herself, she don't really post much on interviews, you know, she just stick to the point, she answer the question, then, you know, not much, not too much. And
they
again,
don't try to be controversial.
Yeah, there's no controversy, and again, people say the controversy sell. So they're like, "Oh, what can we do now? You know, oh, is her marriage going bad? Does she have any man on the side? Something, you know, she smoke weed. No, she does clean cut, Christian, married, have her life together, have her career together. So they're looking at it this way. It's hard to sell that. You know, they're going to be like, all right, while it's positive, while it's good, but who is going to buy into that? People look on that and say that boring. Sure, me can't bother. No, when you look on Shakar, you know, smoke weed, big controversy that, you know. Weed is already controversial, coach. Can't hear you, coach. You mute yourself.
Weed is all over the place and one of the most controversial.
There you go.
Yeah, so once you touch that, I think they really have a lift for a helicopter.
There you go. The crowd are going to just run with that. You have people who are for weed and against weed. So they have that in the conversation now. Trust me. The amount of headline they sell with that. No, with the Olympics, the girl them know. So now, yeah, man. Now you come with the whole Olympics now, biggest stage, for the athletes. We take her out. All right. Now they're building up a story before that, right? Boom, the girl them win goal. Everybody's like, oh, Shakari did it. Should have run with them, blah, blah, blah. So you see the storyline that I'm build up now, right? Now she come Eugene, boom, everybody running for her. Not only that, she's playing into that as well. Because she's selling herself as, yo, I'm a champion, I'm the next big thing. Without me, nobody would be interested in Olympics and all of that. And everybody's hype up now, right? So Eugene come now and she chat up her mouth and come last now. That sells too. Because now you have a next story that hook people.
That
Like,
she
okay,
needs to rebound then.
yeah, rebound. Like,
Yeah.
you're locking in the crowd now, coach. Everybody wants to see a round two now, because that was round one. So everybody wants to see a round two now so that can sell. And the more controversy you sell, the more them improve the bottom line, as the lady say. US media is biased, as we know. That has been proven time and time again. But for Elaine now, again, show respect. We can't tell a person to be more likable. If it's not their personality, coach, you won't get it. And you can't tell a person, oh, put on that, put on this, and you know what I mean? She's going to be who she is. I just have to respect her and show your gratitude. But you can sell those people more. The Shakari, she have a big mouth, she talk and she go on, and so you get me, I say you can sell that more. But with Elaine, she's just laid back, she put in the work and do her thing. So I don't think she'll sell that much. She
And
won't
and
she
it has
won't
to do
sell
with
that much.
culture. It has to do with culture,
There you
It has
go.
to do with culture because I tell you, one time I see Alien drop a photo
Mm-hmm.
and people went at her in a tough way because they're saying that she's a NCB brand manager and this and that
Yeah,
and she behave. So what kind of picture that she put up and all of
put up.
them things.
I
So
think I remember that picture as well.
and that probably brought her back into a shell, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So based on the Jamaican society, they are going to look at her to be quote unquote professionals, and professionals should carry themselves a
Self a
particular way.
certain, yeah, a certain type of
While
way.
while in the other country with that young lady, she can do or say anything and it not come off nowhere
No
because
way.
your
It's
society accepts
accepted.
stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
And
accepted.
that's why the divide with Jamaicans viewing her and things
Mm-hmm.
say she this and she that. Which
Yeah.
in her country she's not seen as that.
She's
You
not seen as
understand?
that. Exactly. So
So if aliens start to behave a certain way, or Shelly, you're gonna hear people start talk. But yet still
yeah.
them now realize that it's a mark, is a part of the strategy to get more followers, to get the thing more interesting and all of this. Because they say controversy
Controversy.
sells.
But
You understand?
the question is coach, we know the strategy for sell all of this, but I doubt Ian is willing to do all of that, to build controversy. I don't think that's within her to create controversy. She's more focused on running her race,
Yeah, yeah.
enjoying life, and again she's a Christian. So, she has certain belief and certain standard that she stick to.
Right.
So they,
Let,
they,
let me
they
get that
won't
comment.
get that
Let me
out
get
of
that
her.
comment here. Let me get
Mm-hmm.
that comment here. Jason Parkinson, I did say that earlier. He's saying that Bolt wasn't controversial, but he had a good marketing team and an entertaining personality. That's a hit factor, not necessarily controversy. I did make mention of that, Jason Parkinson. I did make mention of that. So if you just come on, you probably never hear when me say it, but I said that Bolt wasn't the one that was on social media, tweet, Instagram, and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And Bolt go on some of the biggest platforms in the United States
Yeah.
on jailing a show on some big show. And it is all because of his team. His team pushed him. So when them
Mm-hmm.
are sleep him team at work,
But
you
but
understand?
but to add to that, coach, add to that on the commenters, if they can remember back in 2006, remember after the Rio Olympics, what had happened was Bolt was partying with some females. and they create the media, you know, not the Jamaican media, but the international media, created a whole storm saying that Bolt having girls and you know and flirting with all kind of females. So they say they want to disturb some controversy with Bolt, you know, to probably overshadow, you know, the star that he is, are saying that oh Bolt is a little reckless and stuff like that. So they tried
And
it.
that could be a part of the thing. But you hear some
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans bashing because in a Jamaica they don't look for it apart that way there.
Yeah, but in a Jamaica, you know, once a man a married coach, a man a gal is, a man a go do him thing.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
know, so you know they try to smear him a little bit, but it never work. You know, it never work. But for Elaine case, you know, again, Nike should again, coach. I haven't seen anything from Nike as they stated from Olympics till now. We're on social media. We watch TV. We haven't seen any big ads. I haven't seen any big ads with Elaine. I saw one with Shakari, and you know, it I think it is warranted. We they need to show respect where respect is due. Even if you want to do a little thing, do it. It doesn't take 5-10 days to do an ad. You can shoot an ad in one day and show your appreciation and post it. You know what I mean? So they
Mhm.
need to do better. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse. So oh she has to run in Eugene, oh she has to go to Italy there or Switzerland. There's no excuse at all. You can wrap up another you know a video in one day. So
All right. You saw the post that the 400 hurdler made on Instagram, Sydney McLaughlin.
no,
She
what
wants
what
some
what is
respect.
oh
She
Sydney
wants
Mac.
some, yeah, she wants some respect. She does all that she asks for. This sporting thing, you know, very biased, you know, and as well, I never want to really touch
But
the part that I talk to this.
but not only that coach, look at the young lady in the 800 meter, 19-year-old who I think her parents are from Kenya. The tall
I
yeah,
think
the
more.
tall black, yeah, and she's a superstar. She won gold. And
Mm-hmm.
coach, me no see nothing. Me no see no man I like that. Me
So,
no me no see no media. There's a lot of media outlet, coach. There's New York Times, there's the thing the journal there's so many news outlets, and when you look, you don't see nothing at all with the black athletes to celebrate them. So it's like, you know what I mean, it's like they just push them under the rug and that's it. So I do
mm-hmm.
understand where the divide is, because there's a big divide in America where black and white is concerned. There's just one middle. There's just one strike goes straight down the wall. There's black and there's white. Black athletes versus white athletes, and how much sponsorship and how much highlight they get. And you know, the media pick and choose what they want to highlight, and they highlight the negativity about the black athletes, and you know, they prop up the white ones. And so you know, you have that divide. So the black athletes are saying that we need that respect. You know, you guys need to do more, but I have to leave that to them. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to fight that battle for themselves. But I think one of the Jamaican athletes, I think Boat was even saying it too, that the the Jamaican well, the Jamaican businesses are the corporate companies in Jamaica need to do more before these athletes start to shine or make it big. You know, they wait until after, then they jump on the bandwagon. And I think he's fair in saying that, because a lot of athletes have spoken out about that. Like Kemar Billy Cole made a 1 hour odd video stating that the government should do more where rehabilitation is concerned from injuries, where they should have a public, you know, facility where it is state of the art, where the athletes can go and get treatment for free, and the government could pay, you know, masseurs, you know, pay doctors, you know, pay therapists, where you can sit down and talk about the mental aspect of the sport, you know what I mean, to help the
Mm-hmm.
athletes. And I think that is fair enough to say, and he was saying that man like himself, who is not a big athlete, him can voice the concern, but it's not going to get highlighted. You know what I mean? So I think that is true where that is concerned. I think they do need a facility like that, but you know, I guess somebody bigger have to pick it up and push that.
Yeah, man. People, you can still call in. You can call in to let your voices be heard. Um, there's a number on screen. You can call
Mm.
in. There's a number. Let me big it up. There's a number.
Yeah, and see somebody answer the question. They could somebody say that we need to do stuff by ourselves. The government can't always do things, right? I, for one, having a state of the art building that is going to be used for all athletes, not only track and field athletes, but footballers, tennis players, netballers, everybody can go there. You
Mm-hmm.
need these facilities. One, it's expensive, but you can use the tax dollars. You know what I mean? Everybody pay tax in Jamaica, whether they like it or not. If you buy a phone card, tax depend on GCT, depend on everything, and it's the same tax that run the country. So you can divert some of that money because you have a sport bill, right? To build in a state of the art facility. So instead of athletes, the thing that Kemar Bailey Cole said was, we have to fly to Germany, we have to fly to Belgium and those countries to get the proper treatment, right? And if you don't have a sponsor, a corporate sponsor in Jamaica, or a big sponsor to sponsor you, then you're going to be left behind. You're going to be nursing an injury that you can't afford. Um, you have to maintain yourself and stuff like that, and it's very hard. So there should be an option where the government step in and provide that facility for the said athletes. He's saying that with all of these accolades that we're winning and all the things that we're doing to put Jamaica on this pedestal, this is one of the benefits that you know we should have as athletes and athletes coming up. And I do agree with him. You get the point that
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make, coach?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, use the same tax dollars. Tourists come to Jamaica, they love the athletes and whatever. Use that same tax dollars to build a state of the art facility so that younger generation 20 years from now can benefit. You know what I mean? So it's
Neo,
not
link
that.
up, Neo, link up,
Mhm.
link up, Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue, man.
So yeah, man. So it's not that, yeah, we should do it ourselves, but when you think about that, those machines and stuff, X-ray machines, and he's talking about warm pools or cold pools and our cryogen. You talk about cryogen, where you know that you go in and it cool down your body much faster, so it help with recovery in the muscles and stuff like that. Those machines are expensive, so you need big capital. And if you're going to depend on private sector to do that, then they're going to charge. You get what I'm saying? So the public option should be there using tax dollars to build a facility like that. So, you know what I mean? I do support Kemar Bailey Cole with that, and I think the government should try to build a facility like that to help the athletes.
True, but one of the things, Mark, why I don't buy this Twitter and the popularity thing through social media? I
Yeah.
think it has a part to play, Don't get me wrong, people. It
Mm.
has a part to play. However, I do believe that it is your team that pushes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have say, for example, an artist. You have two artists, one better than one in terms of lyrical content, writing ability, and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But the team that is with the other one that is not so good in terms of writing pushes the artist,
Mm-hmm.
get big contacts and all of this, put them on big show and all of them things. It is because of who? The team that is with that person. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not nothing really to do with the person's talent. It's the
Yeah.
it's the team, the management team that is around them. So
Mm-hmm.
I know that the social media presence is important because it goes a far way. And why it goes a far way? Because if Nike has Shakiri now and
Mm-hmm.
them have a brand new product to drop and them say, all right, Shakiri, put it on your platform. It
Yeah.
will lift up. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
Because she has a lot of following.
Yeah. That's true.
So I mean, it has a lot to do with the team, man. Has a lot to do with the team. People just remember you can call in. We have about 40 minutes to go in the show. You can call in, man. But I mean, for me though, Mark, I don't think Elaine will leave.
Yeah.
Nike. I said it earlier. I don't think she will
Mm-hmm.
leave unless when they go to the negotiation table,
Yeah.
it not work out. All right, I call her coming. I will screen it before we come like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Bless up Dre anyway though. I guess coach muted for now. But I do get the point where thing there is concerned about government funds being diverted into, let's say, a sports facility like that I mentioned. Yes, we need an next hospital. Yes, we need better playing surfaces. You know what I mean? And yes, we need money to be pumped into the education in the schools. You know, building up better schools or renovating schools or buying computer and laptop or putting solar panels on schools to reduce the cost associated with running the school operations. I do understand that, but it's just one thing. That's just one building. That's just one state of the art facility. And if you look at smaller countries, they use their tax dollar to build at least one state of the art facility. You know what I mean? So they can have that at home where they can actually take care of their athletes. I'm saying that I'm advocating for that, and I know you guys are not knocking me and saying that no, Mark, that no make no sense. But I think it would be ideal for government to invest that money. Just invest that one money and maintain that one facility, and it can help the future generation. Say I'm gonna fly go Canada, I'm gonna fly go Germany out of own pocket. You're fear for go Germany like 2,000 US dollar. You have to pay for hotel and food and all of that. Then you have to pay that medical bill. You can run upwards of 8,000, $10,000. You know what I mean? So I'm just advocating for a facility like that, and I support Kemar Billy Cole with that idea of a state of the art facility. So yes, government funds should be diverted to schools, hospitals, but I think sport is big, and sports have an impact on the economy, and sports, we are sports tourism. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's beneficial because the investment will come in, when you have athletes performing at optimum level. It would be more beneficial for us as a country.
Yeah, man, true. So big up to the persons who are just coming in. Big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in. Just remember, if you're new people, hit the subscribe button and you can like up the video. That's a free way of showing us a support so that the video can reach far and wide. You know what I mean? So yeah, Claudia is saying Jamaican companies need to step up. We can't be looking for another country's company to take care of our interests.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that is
that's
true.
true. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see any more comment. Judith is saying that Elaine should leave now. Let me see that comment here. Country vaccine rate is 5%. 1 in 2 people testing positive.
Boy, shut on it easy, no shut on us through the topic off of the board. I'm coming so different.
Brand Jamaica is dropping the ball as well. As a unit, the J3 corporate Jamaica should come together to market and invest in pro athletes and future athletes. That's a good point there. Big up
Very,
yourself for
very
that.
good point. Very good point.
You see that one here now. Daly and McGregor. I live in Canada and we had the same problem with the government helping the athletes with proper facilities until 2012 Olympics. when they start cry out and see now Jamaica had more medal. Oh, okay. So it is important that the government aid in this whole big move. You understand?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Somebody is saying, Farmer Jack is saying, for that to work, the government would have to incorporate this facility into one of the healthcare institutions where this facility may be used by others. Yeah, that's a good point to add to
Exact.
it.
Exactly. So it would be like a multi-purpose facility
multifaceted area.
area, because again,
Yeah.
you're not only catering to track and field, you're catering to football. Because yes, man pull them hamstring, a man can go up there. And even if you want to run it a certain way, you can run it at a discounted price. Let's say I'm gonna pay 100% price to go to a state of art facility in the US or Germany or Canada. You can charge them 30%. You can charge, 30% less, no, 60% less of what them would have pay. So instead of them fly out, hotel, all of that medical bill, you know what I mean? They can stay at home, get the proper care, and then you can create an environment now, coach, where other Caribbean nations can fly into Jamaica and use this said facility, and you charge them at a lower rate than US, but still at a premium. So Jamaicans would benefit, and then the Caribbean would benefit. Taking a university at the West Indies, right, coach? You have couple campuses up in the Caribbean, like you have one in Jamaica, one in Barbados, and I think one in Trinidad. But you do have certain degrees that Caribbean, that is at UWI, where other Caribbean students have to fly in and study, right, at UWI, and they have to pay for that fee, and that is a profit too. So with that mechanism now, you can then earn, and that money that's coming in from these foreign athletes that can't afford the US or Germany fly into Jamaica. So now you create a whole bubble where you're making a profit running this facility, and it's a win-win for the Jamaican athletes, a win-win for the economy. You get what I'm saying? So I think if the government is thinking like that, how we're thinking, I think it would be very, very beneficial. Very, very, and I see, and I see where, um yes, our health department is far from world class, but I do see other Caribbean nation flying people into Jamaica to have certain medical procedures, right? So again, we should be we should be the standard for the Caribbean where these things are concerned. We are ahead in track and field, where we are superpower in track and field, and we should create a facility that other Caribbean countries can utilize, or even South American companies at least can utilize, flying to Jamaica for treatment, fly out back, more revenue. So that's my point on it still. What do you think, coach?
Talk you make man. I see Tony Green say I agree with what you say.
Yeah, man.
Big talk. Judith Ollingsworth is asking if Shelly can beat Flojo record. What you say?
I think she can. I think she's close. I think she's close. I think if she not race with still in a race with Shelly and thing there, and let's say somewhere Shelly pick up and I run her down, and she feel Shelly a come, and she just comes and step in at the fifth or sixth gear. You see what I say? She can take the record, but sometimes you have to push athletes. So you need a big field, you need a good competition to push you over the line. You know what I mean? Because look, when Bolt did a run, Bolt was the competition. He was the fastest thing. And every man behind him a run fast time. You and Baker run fast time because they might try to catch Bolt. You know what I say? So you have a man in front of you try run down. So while Elaine can beat the record, I think she have that pressure behind her to like, yo, Shelly go come get me, and she run that magical race, then yeah, she can dip under that record. But I think she can do it some way somehow. If
Yeah,
all
man.
goes well, I think she can.
All right, so Shatta is saying that girl has created last place winnings.
Hey, one shot is man.
Gabby is
Ah,
Jamaica. Yes, Ishmael
yeah,
King.
yeah, man,
All
she
right,
is.
so in my estimation, though, Mark, I think Elaine
Mm-hmm.
can do it. But for
Yeah,
me, the condition has to be right. The wind reading has to be. If she get a 1 point
yeah.
something wind reading
Mm-hmm.
easily, and she get a,
Yeah,
a,
she's
a good
right.
start like she did at the Olympics,
Yeah,
definitely she can
she
get the
can.
record.
And I think, coach, to be honest, I think she have it in her this year.
Yeah, man, can't
I
wait,
think
can't delay for next year or
you
any other
can't
year.
delay for next year, man. I think she have it in her this year, man. I think again the conditions have to be right. It can't be too cold. You just want a nice temperature there and nice wind reading there.
Yeah,
And the
man.
competition, you want a good competition if you push her and she'll get it. I honestly feel like she'll get it, man. We just want her to get it, honestly. And those, those great history.
But
More history.
the question that surrounds that record, though, people are saying that Flojo. They say a lot of things about Flojo for running that
Mm-hmm.
fast, and you think that record was beyond women. Know that Elaine
Exactly.
is close to it.
Close to it. The closest.
What say you about Elaine? Because persons were saying that, I mean, that was beyond women or
Yeah.
women.
But
But now
coach,
a
before
woman is
Elaine,
doing
but coach, look earlier in this year when Shelly run that time there, people got excited. People was like, yeah, record, she never take the record. You get what I'm saying? And no Elaine come. And Elaine, what's up, what's up, Evelyn? And now Elaine come
Respect, man.
on, and Elaine, the close court right now. It does a one palm away. Just come say, yo, give me this. I mind this. It's dear, man. It's dear to take, honestly. And I'm
Coach,
excited.
on that issue, guys,
yeah.
I have some friends who are African American. So,
Mm-hmm.
they're listening because of course the comparison between Shakari and Elaine came up, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
then they started to talk about Flo Jo.
Mm.
So I explained to them because I don't really think that they're very. So what's happening is that there are a lot of people in the United States who are not traditionally fans of track and field,
Yeah.
right? But because Shakari has been drawn into the
Yeah.
political zeitgeist and the cultural zeitgeist, you
Mm-hmm.
find that people are tuning in. I'm
She
not
is
sure if it's
man.
selling. I'm not sure if it's selling Nike as a brand, but people are
Mm-hmm.
definitely their eyeballs on the TV. So I suppose you could say that's any publicity is good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure about that. In any event, many
Mm-hmm.
of them pointed out that Flojo was heavily tested too. That
Mm.
a lot of people accused her of taking drugs, and that by the time she ran those times, people were testing her because, just because of how she looked physically, and the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they said that, well, she was also a black woman in America who, she didn't cover. She was, you know, she put herself out there, and they said that she was tested. No, I don't know. I know that during the 80s, more people were using, steroids allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but as Coach said though, right now that Elaine has done it, right, and as Jamaicans, we know that she's been tested and that they have all these spot checks, you know. So I mean, I don't think there is any, well, no allegation yet that she was aided by any sort of drugs, but people, there are people here who are defending Flojo's record,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I suspect that you know the closer Elaine comes to it, is the more people will try and you know defend it.
Question Elaine's whole going close to it or get it. You know what I mean? Because I believe no. For me, Neo, I was very well, not very. I was against the fact that a woman can actually attain that feat, right? But you know, learning the game more and more, I realized that if, especially a caliber athlete as Elaine, 10-5, close to it, probably point 0.5 away from it, which is very close. I mean, if she gets a wind reading, a 1.8, a 1.9, even a 1.7, she gets a good condition and a good start, then definitely I believe that she can run it easily and probably go below it farther than we think. You know what I mean? So it's interesting because I did not know that that record could have gone there, but it can happen. It can happen. So Flojo record was skeptic, but for yeah man, that's what that yeah. But persons nearly would have been skeptical of her,
But
right?
coach, oh, you don't make a point, coach. Sir. I'm so
Yeah, man.
tired.
I was saying persons were skeptical of her. So even if that race was skeptical because of wind reading, then there's also a gray area around her in itself. So that is also something that could be looked at. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I was thinking about this point, coach. Knowing that we have the caliber of coaches in Jamaica that produce a Usain Bolt, that produce Asafa Powell, Merlin, Artisan those, and we have studied the game, and the coaches have invested their time. I think way how they train and knowing that the females train with the males, when they look at all of that training and all of that sprint knowledge, I think we are now seeing the results. So when coach say, all right, him not think a female can run that time, I think it's because of all of all of the knowledge that we have on the training regimen, and the effort of the coaches. I think we're seeing now how fast the Jamaican females can run and how they can execute. You know what I mean? So I think it's tied into that. The training with the males, um, or alongside the males, the knowledge, of sprinting and execution and when they should peak, you know. I think we are seeing the effect of that now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can elaborate on that or pick apart that. But that just came to my mind a while ago. Think
Come
you're
on,
muted.
let me read that super chat. Jay, anyway, that big up yourself. Coach Neil Mark, up my bros. Elaine breaking that world record before 2022. I heard that Shutter allegedly turned off the wind machine during Flojo run.
Easy.
Run with it, coach. Hey, John Mitchell, me if you start a GoFundMe for the Jamaican government, like seriously, is that what you're saying?
They have the money. Enough money is there, coach. As I say, all they have to do is reallocate some of the money, build a facility, state-of-the-art facility. We have the personnel to run it. We have qualified individuals, market it to the Caribbean, have athletes from the Caribbean come use this facility at a cost, let's say 10% less than what they pay in the US or Canada, make it more affordable, make it more attractive. Um, we're ideally located, you know what I mean, and use that to our advantage. So that facility, that rehabilitation facility, now you offer that to the rest of the Caribbean. So those athletes in Puerto Rico or Trinidad can fly over to Jamaica, use this facility, and you earn from it. So instead of the taxpayers' dollar funding and paying the staff and keeping the facility up, it charges people. But when it comes to the Jamaican athletes, they can offer it for free or you offer it for very, very cheap. So I don't think we should do a GoFundMe or anything like that. I don't think somebody, the sports nation should have that vision, should find the money is there, build that facility so the athletes can benefit from all different sporting areas. And again,
Coach,
private sector can do it, but who knows?
can I ask a question, Coach? I
Sure.
know you have the MVP sports club. What's the other big sports club down there in Jamaica that prepare these sprinters?
Um,
Sprintech,
you have Sprintech, you have UE, you have UE / Swept Track Club.
GC
You have,
Faster,
they same Sprintech.
no Sprintech.
Because
Sprintech / GC.
Mhm.
UTech, UE, which is MVP, UE, Swept, and I think there's another club at UE too. They have the
Are
Michael,
they okay, Michael? But so my
and that is
so I
two
mean
more.
so I'm just asking about the private entities because I mean I know is Michael a track club? Is that the school or
Well, this, well, let me not say Michael because the team that works down there is the Bert Cameron led Cameron Blazers.
because what I was going to go on to say in a coach is that
Mm-hmm.
I you know I'm not such I agree with Mark and I think that there should be such a facility. I am not so sure that the government would be the government's role to build it. I just think that some of these track clubs should consolidate and that perhaps the government can give them tax breaks and incentives to do these things. I suspect, I mean, I know it is a capital intensive project, right? But I mean, some of that type of business innovation should be coming out of those clubs. I'm not sure how much money is being made from by those entities, but it's something that really deserves a lot more study. And I know that there have been books written about the potential for athletic tourism and stuff like that. So, you know, um, it's an interesting topic, but I'm not so sure though that it would be the government's role to do that. But I think it's definitely a good idea.
Yeah,
Because
true, true.
why Kemar Bailey does add to that and quote a battery, let me tell you, but battery up on 9%, so it might
Yeah,
die.
man.
But why I was advocating for the government to do it was Kemar Bailey Cole. He did a live about 1 hour 30 minutes long and I listened to the entire thing. And he had the idea when he was training and I listened to him keenly and why he wanted the government to do it instead of a private sector. It would be at no charge to them because the guys that are trying to make it in the sport that are not a Usain Bolt or Elaine or Shelley that don't have the sponsorship, that don't have the money, they're finding it very hard to recover from an injury. So now they're thinking about retirement at an early age, even though they have the potential. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're having it very difficult. And we know Neil to fly from Jamaica to Germany ain't cheap. To book a hotel is ain't cheap. Pay the
And
medical bill is ain't
to
cheap.
pay for the medical because medical bill is one of the biggest bill
Pay,
in sports.
exactly. So just imagine now you're injured, you have the potential, you can run a 9-7, and because you don't have the support, the corporate now help you, you now get a paycheck, you can't go there to run because you have a 3-4 month injury. There's
Yeah,
nothing you
I mean,
can do next. You just
and
nine to five.
mhm. And I agree with but just as you mentioned it though, coach, um, they should have a special insurance for these athletes too. I mean, they definitely should be given a lot of support, from the private sector and the government. I agree with that. None of our athletes who have run for the country and devoted so much of their time should be left out in the cold like that.
True. And
Gentlemen. Oh,
yes,
yes. Go ahead.
yes,
Fellow,
yes.
fellow, fellow.
Richard, welcome. Let me read this super chat. Our place, big up yourself. £2. Look like Richard carried that one here. How much you train my son? Great platform. Respect our place. Yeah,
Bless up,
Richard.
bless up.
Give thanks, sir. I was just passing through and I saw that there was a live and mention of Elaine potentially leaving Nike. I'm a big track and field fan, big track and field fan, big sporting fan. Uh,
Mhm.
there's an elephant in the room when it comes to track and field, and particularly when it comes to women's athletics. I'd like your take on it. Umboma, that that 200 meter. Are you familiar with Umboma? Silver medalist, 200 meters.
Yeah, man, I'm very
When,
familiar.
yeah, man, when she, I, I, I think that the women's, I won't be able to stay too long, but I'd like to, I'm going to keep quiet and listen to you guys. Look here. When I saw Christine Umboma fly from a ways back past Shelly Ann, that was one of the saddest moments. Bittersweet. I saw Shelly giving it her all, Gabby Thomas giving it her all, and this lady, I say lady, ran past, claimed the yes, claimed the silver with not so much as a bayou leave, and only Elaine Thompson Herah's undoubted jet fuel speed deprived that woman of taking the gold. My question is, do you see a change in the wind regarding women's athletics? When it comes to men, well, you're a man or you're a man. You're fast. We've had the Michael Johnsons, we had the Ed Moses, we've had the Usain Bolts, who are just stellar and phenomenal. And good luck to you if you want to beat them when it comes to the big races. But you know, the races go on. But the women's game, do you think there's a difference?
Coach, that's for you.
I mean, it's a very controversial one, Christine Mboma's exploits. A lot of persons or a lot of people kind of think it is shady. You know what I mean? But we, they were 400 runners, and they were doing extremely well in the 400. And for them to step down and did so well again, because I just give Shutters comment that is a trap. But it's really controversial. But for her to step down, or for them to step down and still doing so well, a lot of people question their ability. But definitely, I I'm going to reserve my opinion on the matter, because, like I said, it's very controversial. World Athletics put something out there, and I mean, they say that they're going to be supporting it right through. So I don't really want to talk. And incidentally,
Whatever, sugar.
Richard, she went on to the World Juniors and did a World Junior record, which is the World
21.84.
under 20 record. So I mean, woo,
She'll be coming for LA next year, no?
I
Paris,
believe so.
Paris next year.
I believe so.
Mm.
Once they are allowed to participate, it's going to be, as we
Love you.
Jamaicans say, hell and powder house. Wars in our dance. Yeah? Because once she puts in another year of training to learn the 200 and they learn a little bit more about the sport, then trust me, it's gonna be rough.
Hell
But
up in Harlem.
our girls, I think Elaine should be able to, 10.5 and 21.5 whole per speed, that pure speed. So you really can't. I mean, quarter mile will take a while to build up. By the time you build up, with Elaine's top end speed gone past the finish line already, and you're asking for more real estate. So,
But what of the silver medalists, the podiums, the silver and bronze potential medalists? We've got Neo Sovereign, we've got Mark in the house, we've got Dre. What are your thoughts?
yourself, Jerry.
Yeah, man. Big up Dre.
Yeah,
We don't have
My limited.
we don't
In
have
my
to
limited,
personalize it. Just generally speaking.
Richard,
Wait,
in my
hold
limited
on.
experience.
Wait,
Oh,
before
go ahead,
you go.
Mark.
Sorry.
Yeah, man,
Coach,
your
no
phone.
percent. But jump on the phone upon 4%, so I have to really jump on with a dead bud.
All right,
You work the battery.
pull off a 4%, Corey. All right.
No man, you work the battery. If the battery goes ready, work the battery, but me I drive home right now.
All right,
Me and
cool.
wife. So bless up, love the program,
Yeah, man.
and
Big up
respect everybody else.
Respect.
All right, cool. Big up,
Yeah,
man.
man. Cool. Bless up, coach.
Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, man, Richard. In my limited experience. So here's the thing. I have not, I was on the track team when I was a schoolboy, high school. I've heard coaches. In fact, I can tell you, I'm proud of the fact that when I was in high school, Stephen Francis was my coach, and listen to him, watch how him work, and I have seen. What I do know is that when you look at different athletes, some tall, some slim, some thick. I went to an all-boys school, so I never really had a chance to be around the female athletes. But the way I heard it described is that certain body types will have the potential to go faster. Certain athletes will be more injury prone. Certain athletes will be fast, but them have it's almost as if them have a limit, right? And other athletes seem to appear to have just kind of unlimited potential because of just their accident of birth, just because of them body form. So the athlete that you've referred to, I know there's some controversy around that athlete. The truth is, on the one hand, it is worrisome because, if it's something other than accident of birth, then of course the authorities have to be careful and get to the bottom of it because, it wouldn't be fair, right? On the other hand, if somebody just have because of accident of birth, more of one type of what's the word? It's not gene, but for whatever reason is more,
Chromosome.
Right, right. That's just something that occurs, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nevertheless, as Coach said, I'm not worried about Elaine, right? I'm not worried about Elaine, and I think that there are other people who will make a similar complaint about, the Jamaican athletes, some intrinsic thing, that gives them some advantage that other people don't have. So that's the reason why I don't want to go down that road. I believe in hard work and training, and I think that that's what has landed Jamaica where it is now, and so that's what I will say on that topic.
All right, let me say what is already out there, Neo. The fact of the matter is that these ladies they're allegedly producing high levels of testosterone, and because of such, it is aiding them to do at her age. They say that a young man should be running those times, or they are close to that time. So what they're saying is that she, because of the high levels of testosterone that she's allegedly producing, then it is unfair for her to be competing with female. But let us see where the World Athletics will take it, because they would have said that she can't run 4 they put her down to 2-1. So let's see what will transpire even with the exploits at the World Under-20 competition. We have a caller online. Mana Steel.
Yo, bless up. Good night.
Yeah, man.
So I'm try with a calling thing. Because we don't know what going on, but the thing now come machines.
Okay.
But coach, yeah, I listen to the arguments earlier. I watch them start, but listen to the arguments then. You see, the thing is, corporate Jamaica, they are not necessarily in the business, or corporate companies in general, are not necessarily in the business of developing athletes or aiding in athletes' development. They have a product or they have a service, and they want it to be marketed for them to leverage or gain traction, however they can do that in the best possible and most economic or efficient way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I understand the cry from the athletes and from us too to say, yo, the athletes need support. But really and truly, corporate Jamaican are really not the business of doing that, or corporate companies.
You're right.
So they want you at a point where you can best help them.
Yeah.
Which is when you are a performing athlete or you're a star. But at that point, they can gain traction for them and them company and them products and them services. So it is no surprise that when Reggae Boyz are the well, we get a whole heap of sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
When Jamaica track and field athletes are the well, they get a lot of sponsors. So because if an athlete goes to the Olympics or a championship or to a lesser extent Commonwealth Games and do well, they will get a sponsor. They will get a sponsor and they'll be able to earn from it. The sad thing is that sometimes they don't have the money to prepare properly, so when they go there, they don't do well.
Right,
if they go there and do well, they will get a sponsor. So, yeah, I understand the sentiments, but if we are being honest, the corporate companies, from their perspective, them just want somebody to market their product.
Because they are in it to win, you know. They are in it to win, you know. And if the person is not doing well, then that is not going to argue well for them. So they want to ensure that whenever they are supporting someone, it's a win-win situation for both of them.
Yeah, but the thing is too, they can always, they can go into the business of developing athletes and picking out the stars from champs or wherever the stars are, Money Cup, wherever they are, and say, I'm going to sponsor you and aid in your development and pay you a salary or whatever. But we have seen in recent times that a lot of the persons who come through our champ system who we expect to go on and to be world beaters, they either don't become those world beaters or they take a very long time to transition. The people them will lose their money and their revenue if it is that they have to wait for you, because there's no guarantee say when you're good at a young age and you can compete, when you go to the next level, you're going to be a world beater. Case in point, Christopher Taylor. Win race to fun of champs constantly, but him leave champs now, him go professional, probably get an injury or him just a transition. I don't think him would a transition as yet. So it's difficult to ask them to sponsor you, developing, and there's no guarantee that they will get a return on their investment. Yes.
But man of steel, let me inject there. Let me inject there.
No guarantee, so it's a big risk for them to take, and some of them just not willing to take that.
Yeah, but man of steel, look at this thing, you know. You see the thing about it, you're correct, but sometimes the companies, they don't really understand the sport because they are looking for an immediate transition, which will never happen. The great Usain Bolt did not transition immediately. He got beaten at Olympics, at World Championship, and I mean, if it wasn't for a good team around him, he probably would have given up in the sport. You understand? So a lot of us expect child stars to matriculate. Remember, you know, you have been training with Neo for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years sometimes as an athlete at the high school level. When you move on to another level, say for example, you go professional, you're picked up by a club, that system that you were used to, it takes at least 3 to 4 years to adapt to that particular training regime that you're going to go through, you know. So it will not happen over time. So it's a big risk that the companies are taking, mark you, but sometimes they don't understand the sport to know that the transition will not happen. And an injury can just change the whole stratosphere. immediately.
Yeah, them don't understand the, but in all honesty, they're not in the business of understanding sports.
I know.
How long it take the transition, because they want value for their money. So if they're investing their dollar, they are expecting a return. Now, what if they invest in our athletes or some of our young athletes? They invest in them, they take the time, but after 2 or 3 years, this person don't make it. They are going to lose. So there's nobody here who's going to compensate them for that loss. Or Jamaica's not going to say, all right, they use support athlete A. He not make it, but we are going to still loyal. No, them gone on to the next brand or the next popular athlete or support or bring about.
Yeah, man, and
endorse.
And that's business. That's business.
Because if they get a company to support the athlete from a young stage, it's a good thing. But if they don't, you can't blame them. That's all.
All right, I'm on a still. Well said.
I'm up now and listen still.
Yeah, man. So big points there made by Man of Steel. I said that we're gonna do 2 hours. I'm probably giving another few minutes. We are exactly on the 2 hours now. Welcome to Pet Charles.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just happened to see a channel, and the part that caught my eye and made me decide to call in was when they were talking about the Namibian. Now, like most people, I just had a tangential interest in it. I'm from the Caribbean, as you could probably tell from my accent. And you know how we do in the Caribbean, right? At the Olympics, you want your island to win gold. And if your island don't win, then you want any other island in the Caribbean to do well, right? So of course, and then of course, if it don't work out for the Caribbean, then we want Africa or some black person in the US. That's how we do. So anyway, I looked at this phenomenon and I said, well, why they're discriminating and this high testosterone? What is that? You know what I'm saying? And then I finally started to read. It's not, the media is trying to push transgender and LGBTQ agenda. It is not high testosterone. Those people are males. They suffer.
Hold on. We're not gonna accept that, Pete. Sorry. We can't say them a male. We can't say them a male because not because they are producing, they are. We have not done any what you call it, medical testing to know whether or not they are male or female. Sorry about that, Pete. We can't accept that. We disassociate ourselves on this channel from that sort of argument. Sorry about that. So, Jay, anyway, welcome.
Yeah, good night, gentlemen. I agree, in a couple of years, I'm not sure what the age difference is between Mbama and our girl, Elaine, but in a couple of years down the road, I can see where Mbama will be taking over if she continue on this trend. But I believe Elaine capable of taking that world record before 2022 if she continue improving her time and with the proper nutrition and training. I believe the world record can fall before 2022. I'm not sure when the next meet, but she's on the upward form right now. So I'm looking forward to it. And a lot of eyes will be watching when she run again in the 100-meter.
Phenomenal. She's in phenomenal form as we can all testify. I only joined the conversation late. There's 2 points that I wanted to just touch on. One regarding straight away Elaine and Sharika and Shelly-Ann and Sha'Carri Richardson. Is athletics boring on the world stage in terms of personalities? They line up on the line. On your marks, get set, go. They go through the line, and there's lots of hugging, kissing, hugging. Well done. Sha'Carri looks like she's really, she's like a real bee in a hornet's nest. And Elaine Thompson Herah, by contrast, seems to be, dare I say, bland. Personally, I think she is phenomenal, and her athletics acumen speaks volumes and does it for me. But do you see a need for a
encourage her? The people on the left came to her, to her rescue, and so she kind of got caught up in that political zeitgeist, and therefore, people who traditionally didn't really care about athletics, their eyes were attuned to it, not because necessarily they knew that she was a very good runner, but just because, like I said before, it was some kind of cultural / political thing going on. Which is sort of a pity, because she is a good runner, not because she's boring, right? But really because there was nothing to exploit. You understand? So certainly she could do it with a better publicist, and yes, she could probably engage in some of that talk. But I don't want it to be said that she's acting in a way that is, she's not doing so, that she's not deserving of the same sort of publicity merely because she is Christian, merely because she is not controversial. I don't want to encourage our athletes to have this, braggadocious where, I don't know. For me, I'm not quite sure that's a desirable thing.
You know what, Neil? Of course, let me touch it real quick. In America, controversy sells, especially on the television media. So, because of that very reason, we gotta people gonna think that Elaine's story is kind of boring. But with the proper marketing team and strategy, they could sell a story that would hit a wide margin of audience also around the world. So I think marketing needs to improve in our team where that is concerned.
What say you, Coach Minzy? Do you think that off the track, kind of not cussing, but going toe to toe, somebody give out, you do your talking on the track. If Elaine said, "I'll do my talking on the track," watch and see. Would something like that stir your fancy and that of track and field fans across the world?
I don't know. I don't know if it will or if it won't. I mean,
did Bolt do any of those things though? Did he engage in talk with the athletes? Bolt. Did he? I mean, I know he had his poses and his celebrations, but did he get into a wait and see contest with?
I don't think he. That's what I said it earlier. That Bolt did not talk about things on social media that much in terms of going up against Gatlin or Tyson or Asafa. I don't think he did any of the sort, and it did not make him smaller or bigger. I believe that it was his team. His team was able to market him. You know what I mean? So
I think both was more individually marketed, especially in the entertainment sector. In the entertainment business, the music, the sporting, and the commercials and all that. He and he had this flair about him on the track also.
Because what he does that I think work, the pose is out of the world, and what he does was whenever it's time to compete, he kind of have a little moment with the persons around the area, taking up the clothes and all of these things, the persons on the track, the officials and such the like. So I think that was one of the things that actually helped him. But I don't think engaging with other athletes, trash talk and all of that did it for Bolt. Bolt had a very different personality, and he's seen as one of the greatest who have ever been in the game. So
you've hit the nail on the head there pertaining to this point though, Coach Minzy. Trash talk, is this not a golden opportunity, looking a gift horse in the mouth? You've got this young braggadocious very interesting colorful character, but she may be all brass and no metal. She may be all sound, but substance is not quite there. She's fast, but Elaine and Shelly Ann and Sharika Jackson are faster, more experienced. Wouldn't you feel a toe-to-toe exchange verbally, maybe an eye look, a cut of the eye, you know? I
Shelly,
saw Shelly Ann walking past the cameras when Shakira was being interviewed, and she smiled or she gave a little look, and
But
someone
that's
asked
it.
her a question, and she just said, they asked her, did you think Shakira was going to beat you? Do you
But
think we
guess
were
what?
wrong to listen? Of course you were wrong. Of course you should have expected us to beat her. I love that. I loved it. It was beautiful, on point.
that's
Shakira,
experience though.
Shakira actually took that photo and put it on her Twitter account. So I mean, she capitalized on what? Hey, she does know how to do the thing. She's a young lady. She know the social media thing work, and she exploit it. That's why she get the following and all of these things. She know what to say. What she does. She does know what to do.
And
Because
actually,
young people them know how to exploit the thing, you know.
and if you know,
So,
if
sorry,
Elaine does,
let me read this. Let me read this
sorry,
super chat. Choi Stars Chucking Blogs. Big up yourself on that super chat. Him saying big up the vibes. Is liking the vibes. Also, if you look at years gone by, the Americans over the years are kind of that braggadocious type of personality. You know, the
the
Dennis
male
Mitchell,
athletes,
Chakari's coach. You had what's the name of the other one there? Green. Them finish run a race, them took out the extinguisher and blow up because them in Hamata and them things. So they are kind of showman
show.
type of thing. And it's the first a female athlete is doing it this way. From what I can recall. First a female athletes take up this type of style. And probably it'll work for her because she the first one to do it. So I don't know. It's just, and plus she's young. Young people normally will have a great following on these social media sites. And she know if to do it thing. I don't know. She does. But again, I think her team, she has a good marketing team. We can't forget that part of it.
I know one of the things too, you know, is that sometimes if Elaine or Shelly punch down, they're actually helping Shakari to come up. Understand? So by engaging in this trash talk, they're actually doing her a favor rather than doing themselves a favor. And in addition to that, that kind of trash talk can turn bad quickly. You know, I mean, you can lose your public support very quickly, and it remains to be seen what will happen with Shakari in the near future because, you know, like I said, there are different winds blowing in terms of her popularity here in the United States. You know, not only did she trash talk, but she also came last, right? So she's so I
Dead
mean it's
last.
right. So she kind of turning off some people.
Yeah, you know what too? I remember this girl back in the day for the United States that wore the long fingernails and stuff. She had some commercials. She had some momentum going for her too, but she wasn't this controversial as Shakari. I'm not sure what her name was, but she had those long,
Gail
extended
Devers.
fingernails.
Gail
Gail
Devers.
Devers,
That's her name.
sprint
Yeah,
hurdler.
Yeah, man.
Divas. Yeah, she also proved herself on the track too. So I'm surprised in how Shakari getting all this media hype and all this attention, and she's not burning up the track as an athlete of her stature and her controversy that she brings and all that. I think it has a lot to do with, like you touch on, her team and the people that are around her and in her ears and stuff like that. You know, that's what pushing her to the forefront. And like I said, because America, being over here and part of it for 20 years now, living in the States, they love controversy. It does sell a lot.
A quick one, a final point, because I know you're looking to wrap up soon, Coach
Yeah,
Mingzi.
man. We have about 3 minutes. So I'm giving another 3 minutes. Go ahead, quickly.
Oh gosh, well, the marketing angle that you guys have been covering has been fascinating on a few levels. For example, in Britain, I remember looking at British performances, and calling a spade, criticizing athletes who were touted as medal contenders, going out in second rounds and begging, waiting for fastest loser positions. My stance was, well, you know, call a spade. When they're being interviewed at trackside, you should tell it as it is and say, well, what happened psychologically, what was going on, what was your tactics, what's your preparation like, you know, what are you going to do to improve your lot and to perform better. And I had one particular friend who used to say, wait a minute, take a step back. The person who feels worst and understands that they've let themselves down is the athlete themselves. But because they need and rely on sponsorship, that's why the media don't go in hard on them. And to hear this other side of the marketing argument, where we're hoping or looking for companies to back potential stars who may win some and lose some, and then one day come to strive and become champions. Well, that could be a needle in the haystack. It doesn't always work. For example, Christopher Taylor. So seeing this side is very, very interesting. And my quick point on question would have been, well, do you think that because athletes rely on sponsorship, you need to have them mollycoddled and they don't get the tough questions? I don't know if that happens in Jamaica. Do people go easy on the athletes because they know that they need sponsorship and they won't criticize them if they come third, fourth, fifth and struggle? That's something that we might look at in the future.
You mean like if they are being interviewed, that's the type of question that, I mean,
precisely. I've seen they've just underperformed, and
the athletes reserve the right to actually not answer a question. You know? They reserve that right, so they should know what not to answer and what to answer. So I don't think that well, many of them probably, if they're young and you know, they don't really know what to say, what to answer. But I mean, they reserve the right not to answer any questions. I mean, for the putting yourself out there, a good interview is always a good thing to do. But I mean, you have to be careful what to answer, because sometimes the journalists they ask some questions that might go down a particular road. Yeah. I don't know if Neil or Jay want to chime in on that part.
You know, the coach, I was just gonna just point out two quick things. So I remember the guy, is Parchment is his name, right? The guy who won the hurdles, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole thing with the lady in Japan who helped him with the bus to get back to the stadium. So he got press for that, right? And I think that whole affair, I mean, it is probably not as controversial or as sexy as the whole Sha'Carri thing, but I think moments in the press like that is worth a whole lot more than what we're talking about now with respect to Sha'Carri. And so I'm gonna go on the conservative side and say, you know, that I think Elaine should be true to herself. I will point out that in Jamaica, I think at Boys Champs, one of the athletes maybe won a race, and I'm not quite sure what he did with his hand. Did he do something with his hand? Right.
Yes.
And
a sort of a makeshift weapon.
Right. So that was and that was a big controversy in Jamaica. One observation is that I don't know if our press is easy on our athletes. What I will say is that there's a cultural difference between Jamaicans and, you know, people who live here in the United States. You know, I think sometimes that sort of braggadocio, you know, public display of self-confidence or over-exuberance sometimes is encouraged here. And in Jamaica, you know, I don't know, I guess we're a little, not so much. You know, so yeah, so to answer your question, I don't think that they take it easy on our athletes. I just, you know, like I said, I think there are different reasons why, you know, you see it in athletes from the United States, even
Well,
athletes in Britain or other places.
all right, we have a caller online from Trinidad and Tobago. Let go ahead, caller.
Yeah. So I was
Welcome.
saying that if you look at what happened, the biggest winner on the Weekend Classic would have been organizers and those who would have sponsored the event because myself, who I'm also Jamaican, I was telling another friend of mine that when these diamond things are going on, outside the Olympic Games and the World Championship, most people don't look at trackers. Every single person, there are about 20 million people watching on the internet, not at what moment. So the biggest winner was
You could speak up a little bit. We're hardly hearing it.
yeah, the organizers were the biggest winners because they would have got people from all over the world to watch the event because of the hype that Shakari brought. So as your host, people who are there to are saying, what she brought out in the sports was something that was missing. The fact that she gave time is another story. But the sport too is lacking. When the Olympics is gone and the World Championship is done, where is the interest? It's only the die-hard fans like myself and you guys who are still paying attention and who are watching the games. So what she brought out was something different because my wife and daughter here, they don't watch soccer. And they came home to watch that race. Many of my friends who are here, they don't watch soccer. I tell them about soccer and everybody was watching it. I can tell you about 100 more persons who watched that, watched it. So you need to have the personality like Shakari, or therapy experience and the little issues that she may have in between. But I'm saying that you need those kind of personality, especially in the women's sport now. Because the men are not saying too much, if you notice that women's sprinting have just taken off. The marquee event in the Olympics was the women of 100 meters. Everybody was doing this and not the men. So it's not a good thing that you have somebody who's hyping up. The only difference is that she should be hyping up and also running good. She not. She came live. So she needs to really go back and really work on that and compete. Maybe some more competition and those things. But this time is what the sport needs because we need more people to watch it. We need more viewers. The sponsors, the organizers, the women make more money, and the athletes ultimately will get more fees. So the hype is good, but just she need her team to give her a little bit more polishing. She needs to say what and when. She needs to be a little more friendly with the competitors. She left the track and she didn't even congratulate. She just left. And that was really embarrassing. That was in very poor taste. I have seen many articles where even one of my friends say it was very poor taste. Sandy Richards was one person who said that in an indirect way. Otto Bolan also said it in an indirect way. They both work for NBC. And a lot of other American athletes, partners, I watched their posts, and they said that it was important. So what you really need is the team, as some guys mentioned earlier on, to kind of take Shakari and kind of polish her up when it comes to talking with the media because you really want to be respectful to your fellow athletes and praise them when they win, even if you lose. But the fight is something that we've never seen a female sport before, and this hype is bringing a lot of interest, a lot of persons are watching because of the hype.
That's right. That's
my
right.
point.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much, man. Trinidad in the house. Big up yourself.
No problem.
Yeah, man. That's a very good point because I mean her comeback when I think it garnered a lot of viewership.
For real.
Wanted to see that. Remember, pure persons wanted to see this big clash from Olympics, you know.
Yeah, man.
And it didn't materialize. And now the Prefontaine allowed it. And I mean, it was one of the races that many people, even as the caller said, persons who weren't interested in track and field wanted to see it. So that's a good point there. Who was on the floor? Neo.
Yeah, man, I think I had finished. But let me just say quickly about that though. People wanted to see this race, right? But it wasn't Shakari's controversial character that they were coming to see. They were coming to see whether or not somebody who may have been quote unquote unfairly treated because she smoked a joint and had to miss the Olympics, whether or not she
We're
was
not
going to,
sure if it is smoking Neo. So let us
well,
not say what
allegedly,
right.
right? But I'm just saying, that this was a comeback. I'm not so certain that people were coming out because of her controversial character. I mean, maybe there's a controversy um, surrounding the alleged use of weed. But I don't know. For me, when I think of controversy, I am now squarely focused on what happened after the race and her statements after the race. So I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think about that.
She's very media savvy. I'd like to hear what Dre Weber has to say on this. I think we've already touched upon the fact that she's quite media savvy. It looks like it's a case of almost good guy, bad guy, good girl, bad girl. The fact that she's doing her stuff, Elaine, I agree with you actually, Neil. I don't think it's actually Elaine being conservative. I think it's more a case of her being herself. And I think nothing beats being yourself, and I think that's beautiful. But when it comes to the track, Shikari in certain circles was deemed capable of getting in the mix, breaking up the 1, 2, 3 for Jamaica. So she's got the athletic ability, but she's also got the mouth. And it's a case of, can she back up her talk? And I think we're going to find for a fair few races that she won't be able to necessarily back up her talk on the track. I mean, she came dead last, and yet she was the first person interviewed at length by NBC, and she's still the talk of the town. So good versus bad is a scenario that, the Westerns alone don't have a moratorium on this particular. And it's a great story. It's great drama. So I think the contrast is there.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, indeed. Dre, what do you think? Good versus bad, it sells. Controversy, as you said.
Yeah, careful how you put Dennis Rodman into that. Remember, I'm a basketball fan. Because Rodman win rings. Rodman also got Defensive Player of the Year and back up a lot of his performance on antics off the court with his performance on the court. So it's kind of opposite. But Shikari, it's kind of complicated in a sense that how the media push her to the forefront because the build up and the anticipation leading up to the race. A lot of people think that, like Richard said, she was about to break up this 1, 2, 3 punch that the Jamaican ladies were bringing to this encounter. So also there is this level of disrespect when she talks, and maybe she do need some media help, some coaching on that perspective, or they just love it. They just let her be free spirited and just let her be her. They love the controversy. Like I said, the controversy sells here, and they love it, and they love the storyline of her hype and her arrogance. That's another thing. So she needs to start winning some races. Otherwise, we're gonna keep seeing Elaine dominate her when she go up against her. And the girl Brianna is not too far behind with the proper coaching and nutrition and everything that she would need to be successful. Then you never know, she may overpass a Shikari, or then come closer to a Elaine or next in line as the spring queen.
Okay. I see. Somebody clearing up well, I didn't hear that she said that. Paul Marriott. I didn't hear that in the interview. I actually listened to the interview, unless it's a different one. I didn't hear she said that she smoked it. Because up till now, I have not heard what she did with it. So if you are saying that now, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? But
And in
I mean,
Shakari's, oh, sorry.
hmm?
Now I was just gonna say in Shakari's defense, maybe you guys can correct me. She didn't really say anything bad about the Jamaican athletes, did she? I think
No,
most of right.
no.
I think most of her most of her angst was against her detractors in the American media, you know, and that's why I said too that there was a moment going, she in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
So but one other observation is that as between the Jamaicans and the athletes, the sprinters in the USA, I think Tyson Gay versus Usain Bolt. And who was the other guy? There was another guy after
Gatlin,
um
Justin
can't
Gatlin.
recall Justin Gatlin. Because in a way, those sprinters were more controversial than Bolt was, but it was the same sort of thing. I don't know if that's if other people had that perception, but from my perspective, that is how it felt because one of them just seemed arrogant, and the other one, had drug issues, right?
That
And
that sold
so,
that sold big time, and sometimes it
yeah,
didn't sit in England. It certainly didn't sit comfortably with many true track and field fans. Gatlin was perceived as the bad guy, and Usain was going to be the good guy, and the good guy should win the day. But even Bolt was on record in press conferences saying, "Look, the guy's done his time, he's paid his dues, and leave him be." But it was a very uncomfortable
yeah.
narrative
And
that had
Gatlin, yeah,
he's got to win, he's got to slay Gatlin. That was, man, I tell you, it was pretty nasty, that one.
and one other observation I'd made too is that there's a kind of a history, with the African American athletes. I think that the way the media treats them sometime and the spectacle around them, I'm not so sure sometimes that they're being showed in a positive light. Yes, they may win races and get some medals on behalf of the United States, but I'm not so sure that they're being portrayed by the American media sometimes as somebody you would want to emulate and be, right? More of more of a spectacle, you know, um, you know, uh, so as to the issue of controversy and what's selling, to me, um, like I said, I'm not sure that any press is good press.
You see, the thing about it, this young lady would have been getting a lot of attention. Whether people like it or not, people see her post them and them come and talk about it. So she'll get the attention. She came last in the race and she was interviewed. That says a lot.
Fact.
You know what I mean? We here in Jamaica, we are talking about her. And members of the diaspora, we talk about her. So it's not like somebody that we disregard. I think why we talk about her is that we know her quality as well. I think she's talented.
Yes.
Yeah. She probably, like somebody said in the comment section, she needs a PR team or a better PR team. Some persons have said that they need to take her phone away. But again, it's the American society. They don't necessarily see anything wrong with what she's saying. I believe that more so it's the Jamaicans who have problems with her. So I
And
mean,
but living in the United States, I don't know if I can agree with that. It's like I said,
okay,
there. I mean, she said what she said, and she's in the media, and she's getting attention. But I'm not so certain that it's good attention. It's more of a spectacle. It's more about what happens, and I think that people here in the United States would be interesting in seeing her burn herself out. You
I-
understand? I
I've
mean,
got to agree. You've hit
it's
the
not
nail on the head. Yes,
right.
an
It's not
accident waiting to happen.
necessarily. Yeah,
An
it's not
accident waiting
necessarily.
to happen.
Yeah, we don't know the way we look at Elaine and Shelley. They're almost deities in our culture. In the United States, she might be looked at as some kind of spectacle, and they're waiting for this, waiting for her to implode. And as I said before, she's being caught between the left and the right and some cultural moment. And I'm not so sure that there is any true affection for her. I'm not so sure that she's been put out there as a good role model for children.
Hmm, hmm.
And, and so, I mean, to that extent, it is kind of exploitive, and undesirable in my mind. What should she do? I mean, she has to be who she is, but I think to some extent she can be baited into these situations, and
Yes.
it is, for me it is kind of sometimes painful to watch.
Yeah.
um she need good people on our team, like you said, coach. So I guess we'll see what happens, but yeah, it's hard.
On the flip side, what does our girl Elaine need in order to improve her media?
It's a
In
great
my
question.
opinion,
Great
um
question.
yeah, in my opinion, it's just like Bold did. She need a good publicist. She need to appear on some of these late night shows in the United States. People would be, I mean, some of them, they would be glad to have her. um she also needs good people on her team. I don't think her story is any less engaging. I just believe that, you know they haven't put the work into selling her. I think that she probably has a I think she has a far greater global appeal than Shakari does, even with this whole controversy, right?
You feel so?
You
How?
know,
Really?
yeah,
How
man,
so? How
because,
so?
well, because I think Shakari sells in the American media market for sure right now. This is her moment in the sun. I think that Elaine sells in the American media market, the Jamaican media market, and I think Elaine sells in Europe far better than a Shakari would. Whether it's Britain or Germany or even in Asia. I think that as between the both of them, um, the brands would see Elaine as a better investment than Shakari. Like I said, this is Shakari's moment in the sun, but I think that Elaine has more of a potential, in terms of her marketability than Shakari does.
all right. We have thanks for that, Neil. We get back to that point later after this call. We have Yvette from California calling in. Go ahead, Yvette.
Hi guys, I'm sitting here watching the show and I'm listening to everything you guys are saying. There, as a track mom of a freshman college student, there are some Americans here that love your girls. We think they are awesome. I mean, my baby, we can't get enough of watching them. And their grace, their style, it's an example. They are an inspiration to a lot of African American young girls here. And when it comes down to Shakari Richards, it's a lot of embarrassment talk going on. And she needs some mentor. She needs somebody, a life coach that can tone her down. And a lot of the coaches are saying here, her career is kind of maybe over, maybe not. But we care about Jamaicans. And the only thing I really don't like is how they pin us against one another. I think with hard work And I think when Sha'Carri came to the point where she smoked the marijuana as a mother of an athlete, I think somebody should have been in her camp and said, look, this is not what you do. You are going to blow it. She's given an opportunity to do a lot. And the other thing that bothers me with her is you talk about God one way, but then you use profanity. You just go off. You're not positive. If she could be more like Allison Felix or Sydney McLaughlin, I think that she would go far. But she really needs to clean it up a whole lot because she's going to lose a lot. You could be at the top one day and you could be at the bottom another day. And I don't think she should even, don't bring God into it if you're not going to walk the walk. Your girls, they walk the walk. They're sounding great. And it was funny to see Shelly and Frazier's face. That was kind of funny. But we love you guys. We really do. And my daughter is half Nigerian, half American. And I'm convincing her now, let's go to Paris in 2024 because she has a God-gifted talent. But you guys, your girls, and it's a lot of us that love this year.
Yeah, man. Thanks much, Yvette. I appreciate that.
So thanks, guys. I'm going to keep on watching.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Great call. Thank you so much.
All right. So there you have it from Yvette. We were on the point of what could assist Elaine in being more marketable. Her team. I would say her team. They need to get her out there. Simply
100%.
put.
Does she want to be out there though? Do you think this is all a bit of a surprise for Elaine? Her speed is doing the talking, and she'd be happy with that, overcoming the injuries that she's had. That's a story in itself. But how comfortable is Elaine in front of the media? She seems a very godly, orientated woman. Always makes so much references. But how comfortable would she be on going on panel shows and discussion shows and doing the media circuit?
You're very right about that, Richard. Some of my colleagues would have made an observation on where she's coming from as to where she is at now in terms of being in front of the media. You know what I mean? And she has improved leaps and bounds. So if she continues on that path, then I don't think it is anything too hard. I would believe that she's getting some proper coaching now in terms of being media friendly and all of that. So once she's out there, I don't think she'll shy away. She has done several interviews now, so I mean that shouldn't be a setback for her.
Yeah, and she's a beautiful girl. That's another big selling point, And I will say, Richard, not to hug the spotlight or anything, but we've had other athletes or even look, for instance, at the entertainer, what's her name? Coffee, right? She at first, when she was cast into the media limelight, she was kind of introverted or whatever. But she had a good team around her, and she got used to it. And now, if you catch her on, I mean, I've seen her on different shows. She's very good at interviews now. So, so this might be new to Elaine, but she's not as Coach said, she's come a far way, and I'm sure that with training and experience, just like she did on the field, she would master this as well.
Yeah, with the right agent and PR team, this is something that can be coached. They can have the offers on the table in front of her, and then she pick and choose which one and where and when. So it's something that's coachable, and see what area, what shows are she comfortable doing until the bigger ones. So it's just part of the PR team that needs to get these bookings.
Comment. Claudia says she also did the dirt bounce and voted to wear the panty. Oh boy, I think that was a hilarious one. In the Olympics after the 4x1 there.
Coach, can I
Yeah,
ask you a question?
sure.
I know it used to be the case that a lot of Jamaican athletes would go overseas um, to on scholarships, right? And track scholarships. And that sometimes the African Americans and the Jamaicans would know each other because they were running on the college circuit. And sometimes that they would, even train together, and that a lot of the athletes know each other very well. And I thought to myself when I saw Shelly and walk past and give her the look, that a part of Shelly and's expression to me was saying, "Listen, you're young. Come on, talk to us." Shelly, and in a way, she kind of look also concerned for her because, Shelly has been around for a time, and Elaine as well. And it just seemed to me that, I mean, to me, they have some experience that they could share with Shakari. And this is why I pointed out the Shakari never really said anything bad towards them. It's just that she's being cast in the spot in the media. And what we're seeing is, she, like I said, the controversy is fire and fury. But, after the smoke clears, will Shakari's career be there? Anyways, we're talking about Elaine. So sorry about that.
No problem. Mine sharp. She don't get the type of treatment and get thrown under the bus. You know what I mean? Quick
Yeah,
time.
like I said about the coaching
Like
and
that.
the team, because member said also Usain wasn't in front of the media and then started, individual showboating and stuff like that. But remember saying was a country youth from boxing, and then the winning and the performance on the field just build him charisma, and then and then all of that just take off because the performance on the court on the track, sorry, field. Football analogy come back again. But yeah, people, football talk, triple treat, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend, right here on Coach's Desk. Make sure to hit the notification bell right there. And who haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Great panelists on the weekend show here, triple treat. But yeah, like I was saying about both, man. Both started out, not in front of the media a lot, but then right team and friends and um, PR, all of that, then develop him into the world class showman that he is this day now today with all the commercials and all that.
Yeah, man. Well said. Because Bold wasn't good in front of the camera either. But I think with his team, they worked on him. Because from time to time, I know people will just put up their hand and, run a little interview with some of the younger ones. Just for them to, get a little feel of what to expect if they actually win. Yeah, so it is something that they would have worked on with Usain.
I must say I was really encouraged by that lady who phoned in. Sorry.
Huh?
Go ahead. I was just saying that I was just saying I was really encouraged by the lady who phoned in and said she really admires our Jamaican female sprinters. I think that's really wholesome, very positive. I love that. So you don't have to go on a walk on the wild side to court attention, adulation, and respect. So again, full respect. Great.
So again, people who want to see our ladies in the media behave in a particular way, they don't have to, because they have fans right around the world. You know what I mean? And as I said before, the young lady, she's young, college student, popular college she went to. So, the social media thing will take off whenever she drops something, because her popularity would have increased. You know what I mean? So, social media following is good for promoting a product. Yeah, but substance is also important. You know what I mean?
Coach, didn't we see Sandals kind of like shouting out to the athletes during the Olympics though?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because we're talking about Jamaican, sponsors and what our private sector need to do to sponsor the athletes. So I mean I don't know. I just have to give a shout out to Sandal still, because that was a good thing. Although certainly it could be bigger than what they did. So maybe this is a test run for them.
Yeah, I guess it's a test run. So I mean, you never know what it will springboard into.
Right. I guess it's kind of hard to imagine how you tie. I mean, it shouldn't be hard though, because there are people discussing it about how you tie an athlete to tourism and stuff like that. So yeah.
One quick point. I'm gonna make a move shortly. I don't know what time are you concluding the show, Coach?
In a few more minutes. We give 1 hour extra now.
Mighty my God.
The people stood still.
The marketing side of things, it just crossed my mind regarding regarding someone like Elaine and Jamaica. I remember you talking. I listened to a really terrific show you guys did on the JFF marketing shortcomings regarding the Reggae Boyz. How savvy and how much store and emphasis does Jamaica put on marketing and the importance of marketing? I'd imagine that there are companies falling over each other for someone to be associated with the likes of Elaine Thompson Herah or Shelly Ann Fraser Price. These are all-time legends, arguably the fastest woman alive. You'd think that people are bending over backwards and tumbling over each other to get close to her. How seriously do Jamaica and Jamaicans take marketing?
It's a very good question, Richard. I'm wondering if we really take it serious enough. I'm wondering. That's the side I think I want to put it, because I mean, I don't take marketing very serious. Or if it is done, it might be in a little area, one sect. You know what I mean? But I really can't speak on that because I wouldn't have done any. But when you look at that whole Jamaica, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. That's all I can say on that, Richard.
Neil, Dre?
Well, she's winning, so they should be lining up at her feet, So I'm not sure if it's the PR team we're gonna touch back on again, her media, our media team, all that, but the commercials should be coming in a frenzy. So I'm not sure what's going on where that is concerned, but she's winning, so this is a good time for all the marketing offers to come into play right now. All the big companies throughout Jamaica.
But they don't just come in oftentimes in Nigeria. I think the team has to go in and put in proposals for these companies to get on board to support the brand. And with having a 10-5, then definitely you can pitch it wherever you want to pitch it because of the caliber run that she would have made. So it's not more so the companies looking out, because as Man of Steel said earlier, they want to align themselves with big names and good performances. So if her team goes to a company now, I think it would be hard done for them to turn down having a caliber athlete like her on their books to actually promote their product. Go ahead, Neil.
I was going to say that, there are marketing companies in Jamaica. They're pretty decent ones too, but I think I'm not certain, if in Jamaica our marketing companies have a global reach. right? So that's an issue. But I don't know. I think as Dre said, and as Code said, it really depends on her own team and what they're doing out there to go and get this sort of these opportunities. Um, I don't know. I'm surprised, Richard, like you. I mean, who was Bolt's team? Why is it that Shelly and Elaine, um, whoever their managers are, whoever their team is not in touch with those people? And frankly, I mean, whoever Bolt's team is, it is an opportunity not only for the athletes but for those people to make money as well. So sometimes they're probably slow on the uptake, and maybe these relationships should be built way before. You know, maybe what needs to be done is that the track clubs, MVP, and some of these other places need to become one-stop shops. They know they have these athletes, they know that they're being trained there. Maybe we need some more foresight, where this sort of experience, this sort of you know these people can be made available to these athletes from early on, and not just when them run 10-5 and always scrambling to find a team for them. This is something that should be put in place from before.
I think Jamaica sometimes undervalues itself, and it may not be. It may not be unreasonable, or in a certain respect. Small but your Talawa, small but Talawa. Usain Bolt, lightning bolt, and all this, phenomenal. But he might have been one in the proverbial million, but it didn't have to be the case. For a small island, Jamaica has produced so many track stars and produced so many great endeavors that you'd imagine that, it would be a hotbed that people would want to be a part of. But because it's such a small, relative to the world island, I think maybe that is something that people take advantage of and just take it for granted. Living in England, for example, I know every time there's a world championship or an Olympic Games, and I see the outstanding talent and the performances with the yellow and green shirts, and you think, and black shirts, and you think, yeah, full respect. But
you want to come on
the British media, they don't follow it. The British media, they don't point out and go into detail about why, where, why, how did this nation do it? They're there again. We need to give props to them. We need to identify and know that, what, Jamaica, don't mess with them. America, Kenya, Jamaica, these are track and field giants, and give full props. They seem to be low profile, and there's so many Jamaicans living in Britain. There are so many black British citizens, and yet they're almost silent. 1, 2, 3, women's 100 meters, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's stellar, and yet they just kind of, okay, let's concentrate and say Dina Asher Smith, unlucky. Be careful with your hamstring. Big up Jamaica. Big up Jamaica. But do you think, Neil and Dre, just because of the size of Jamaica and where it's situated, people almost take it for granted, and then Jamaica by just say, well, you know what, we've got our boys and girls champs, so we do this thing, we love the competition. We let our athletes go out on the big stage, they perform, they come back again, but we're not looking to go desperately looking to monetize these great successes time after time. Would you agree?
That's a good point, you make, because one would think that on the Jamaican TV right now, track and field season, and they would be at the peak of their game right now, especially at Elaine, coming off the Olympics and stuff. Not sure, because I'm not in Jamaica. There should be commercials all over the place, because the girls did really, really exceptionally well at the Olympics. So they should be involved in commercials all over the place, billboards. Elaine 10-5 just ran. She should be on interviews and stuff like that, promoting not only herself and the present time, but for other young upcoming track and field athletes, to look up to a role model and say, Elaine on TV, take their mind off other stuff that's going on in the Jamaican in the country right now. So yeah, it has. I agree with what you're saying, man. They need
For
to be
me,
more
I think
aggressive.
Yeah.
for me, I think that there is an issue with a lack of an infrastructure for that sort of a thing. So as we mentioned, Bolt did this thing. Um, and it's not only Bolt. I mean, from time to time, we have Jamaican personalities, athletes, entertainers who, have gone global and have done it in a big way. But it always seemed just like an individual case. It doesn't seem as if there's any infrastructure built up after this person has, had their moment. That it just seems as if, well, we're starting over from scratch again, right? There needs to be this sort of infrastructure built up, either with a Jamaican marketing company, or a set of people, or a network of people, so that when this does happen, sometimes you have to be able to catch lightning in a bottle, and if you fail to catch the lightning in the bottle, the opportunity misses it. And so, no, Elaine and Shelley, no, know that we have the 1, 2, 3, right? We have the lightning, but we can't catch it in the bottle to market it because we're too busy looking for the bottle, right? And so my thing is that, you know, there should be some sort of infrastructure. There should be, like I said before, maybe it needs to start with the track clubs, right? But some entrepreneur, and not even just one person. It has to be a network of people in Jamaica who observe what is going on. And it's not even just Jamaica, even in the United States and it's in the diaspora. We need more networking, and we need to build this sort of infrastructure so that we can market to our people and take advantage of these opportunities.
I'm just reading the comment down below, Neil. A very good point you're raising there, and a very good, interesting point by Claudia. The women, Jamaican women, performing better than the Jamaican men, yet potentially not as recognized, not given the same level of respect. Would you agree with that?
I you know what? I think
Match
that
up culture.
I think one other thing is that yes, there's a fair argument to be made that the male athletes have been given more respect, but I can't say that in Jamaican society that the women have not been given respect or not recognized. We've always had very good female athletes, beginning with Merlene Ottey. And even though Jamaica is a macho society, we are pretty, you know, there have been great female leaders in the country as well. Um, you know, I I don't know. I mean, I have mixed feelings about that comment. I think the male athlete who's been given the most respect worldwide has been Usain Bolt, right? So yeah, that's my feelings on that comment.
So, man, like I said, I've
Coach.
given like a 1 hour extra. I know that the crowd has stood up, but I mean, we have to bring it to a close. You know that we have other things to do early morning. The country are free up tomorrow, so
Ah,
we have to get out on the road. You know what I mean? So, before you go though, gentlemen, Diamond League is coming up. Well, I'm not gonna talk about Diamond League that is coming up because that will definitely move into another gear of discussion. So I want you to give your final thoughts on what we discussed here tonight in about a minute and a half. starting with Dre. And Dre, you can talk about your channel as well.
Okay, everybody, I do have a sports channel right there. After the show, jump over there, go show some support. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I cover sports teams, Dallas Cowboys, Chelsea, Los Angeles Lakers, Reggae Boyz, of course. Yeah, and Barcelona at one point when they have the world greatest player playing for them, but now that's history. But yeah. So the points that we touch on tonight, what I get from it really is that we see the athletes, female athletes in particular, because they're doing well now, really good right now. So we just need better marketing from the local entity and businesses in order to push these athletes to the forefront and in hopes of younger generation watching and give them a sense of excitement coming up, growing up, who they want to be like in the sports world as female athletes.
Full respect.
Your time, Richard.
Well, as I said, I was just passing through, having seen the demise again of the West Indies cricket team. It was a welcome relief and a pleasant surprise to see track and field being discussed. I was surprised when I saw questions over potentially Elaine Thompson Herah, arguably the greatest sprinter we've seen, vying for that position with the likes of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, also of Jamaican stock, potentially looking to part company with Nike. Companies should be bending over backwards and going hand over fist to be associated with the likes of Elaine Thompson Herah, who is from a country that has produced so many great stars and so many great moments in track and field. And it was a pleasure, a veritable delight, and it was an ideal opportunity for me to touch base with your good selves when you're covering track and field. Jamaica are a powerhouse worldwide. Here in England, they would pay top dollar. They give the proverbial right and left arms, or throw in a left foot if needs be, to get a gold, silver, or bronze medalist. You guys have the ability to produce outstanding talent. And I really hope that Jamaican companies and worldwide companies pull the finger out, get in gear, and that there's a synergy, a two-way process. I hope that Elaine and other companies and other teams, marketing teams and teams that they've got, the camp, get together and put proposals to companies to give maximum exposure and full respect. Nothing beats being yourself. And when they're being themselves, they show what hard work, belief, and a love for track and field can produce. Elaine, I salute Shelly-Ann and the rest of the Jamaican track fraternity. I salute, and I wish you the very, very best of luck going in the future. And let's get this thing rolling for monetary success, but above all, respect due. Be yourselves. Big up Jamaica. One love. Big up you, Coach Minzy, and stay tuned. Coach's Desk. Run things. Dre, full respect.
All right, big up. Neo, you closing off. Neo's frozen.
I wonder if Shakara get to him. Weird. Did he speak out of turn?
Apparently, he's not ready to speak. All right, so people, there you have it. That's the end of the show. It was a pleasure being here, serving you. Yeah, man, and much respect to the panelists. Big up to the persons who called in. showing their support to the channel. Definitely. It's in recent times would have added the call-in segment, and I see where it has been working well, because a lot of people don't want to show their identity and come online for persons to see them. You know what I mean? Or probably they're at a particular location where they don't want to be seen. So big up yourselves, people. Thanks for tuning in. Big up to the Facebook people who have also tuned in. Another thing is that we have merchandise for this channel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link in the description, and also you can check out the community tab, and you